The theme for the 2005 Montana State Bobcats has been seal the deal in the fourth quarter. Last week, Travis Lulay threw a touchdown pass to Justin Dominic late in the fourth quarter to beat Northern Arizona 29-22 and stay atop the conference standings. Today, the Hornets from Sacramento State fly into Bobcat Stadium with upset on their minds. They've lost their last 16 road games. Can the Cats make it 17? Big Sky football is next on the Montana Sports Network.
Got the Bobcat fans on their feet. Big play here.
From Reno H. Sales Stadium in Bozeman, this is Bobcat Game Day. This afternoon, Big Sky Conference football as the Hornets from Sacramento State face the Bobcats of Montana State. Today's pregame show is being hosted by the Montana Army National Guard. Hi again, everyone. I'm Chris Byers, as always, joined by Dean Alexander. And Dean, Sacramento State comes in a struggling football team. Not only have they won only twice this year, they are without two of their offensive weapons.
You bet. Chris Hurd, the quarterback, is gone, didn't even make the trip. Compound that by having Ryan Moll, their excellent running back, gone. He rushed for 245 yards last year against the Bobcats. You bring in Brad Treadway at quarterback. Okay, he has some experience. That's the good news. The bad news is tremendously slow. Bobcats can adjust some things. He may watch a lot of the game from flat on his back.
On the defensive side of the football, the emergence of Mac Mullahan. Last week, a sensational game against Northern Arizona. He was the Big Sky Conference Player of the Week.
You have to have Mac Mullahan in there on the Bobcat defense. And when he's in there, you know it, I know it, the fans know it, the team knows it, and opposing running backs really know it one-on-one.
All right, and for the keys to this afternoon's game, let's go down below to Chris Bach.
Well, guys, Sacramento State fans say they're not used to playing in chilly weather like this, so the players are going to have to key in on some things to win this game. And we'll present those with the Montana Forward keys to the game. First, for the Sacramento State Hornets, they need to once again play the upset card. They come in 1-4 in conference, nothing to lose, and they're looking to spoil the Bobcat season once again. They need to also win away from the Hornets' nest. They've lost 16 straight road games and never won a road game under current head coach Steve Mushagian. Finally, if they want to win a game, they need to limit the passing game and hold down Travis Lulay, who torched them for 516 yards last season. Now for the Montana State Bobcats, they need to continue to shut down the run. They allowed a season-best 56 yards against NAU last week. They need to do it once again this week. Second, they need to utilize home field advantage. Sac State has lost the last 4 meetings at Bozeman, and the Bobcats have to know that. Finally, they have to remember what happened last year. The Hornets came in last in the Big Sky. The Bobcats were first. They sent the Bobcats into a tailspin they could not recover from, so make sure that they don't repeat what happened last year. And that's going to wrap up our Montana Forward keys to the game and our Montana Army National Guard pregame show. We're going to be back with the kickoff with Chris and Dean right after this.
Charlie Height, the Weather Center, blustery day today in Bozeman. Looking at some mostly cloudy skies, temperature low 40s, could have some showers, southwest winds 5 to 15. Back with the kickoff after this.
Hi, I'm Eric Kinnaman.
And I'm Joe Baker. You know, a few years ago, Eric and I were teammates here at Montana State University.
As members of CAP football, we live the values of honor, integrity, loyalty, and personal courage.
As a team, Bobcat football breeds pride, tradition, and camaraderie.
Today, Joe and I carry on these values as proud members of the Montana Army National Guard.
The Montana Guard has a proud and storied history of serving our great state and nation. You too can be a member of this team.
And every once in a while, we still get the chance to lay the hit on someone.
Hey, Bobcat fans! The Billings Hotel and Convention Center has a package just for you. For just $68, you get one night stay with a room for 4 complimentary continental breakfast plus water slide passes and 2 passes for comedy night. When you call, just ask for the Bobcat Special. The Billings Hotel and Convention Center, conveniently located off the King Avenue interchange, has all the services you expect. Dine in comfort in the restaurant or take a dip in the pool when you take advantage of the Bobcat Special at the Billings Hotel and Convention Center.
Why have some of Montana's largest businesses switched to Transaria? Maybe because they are Montana-owned, or because Transaria provides service and products second to none. Mostly because Transaria can provide it all. Private networks, internet, and now VoIP. VoIP allows businesses to turn the internet into a valuable communication tool. The telephone, long distance or local, and clearest traditional service. Save up to 30% on your phone bill. Get rid of multiple bills and get VoIP from Transaria. The simple solution is Transaria. Call today.
Max Media of Montana is taking Montana TV to the max.
And welcome to Bozeman, set to go in this Big Sky Conference football game between the Hornets of Sacramento State and Montana State. Sacramento State won the toss, and they elected to defer, so they'll kick it away. There's your coaching comparison. Steve Mushagian, his third season with Sac State, 5-17 his record against MSU, 1-1. And, of course, head coach Mike Kramer for Montana State. Juan Gamboa will kick it away to start the game, and we are underway in Bozeman. Ball settling down at the 5-yard line. Up over the 20. This is Miller to the 25. Breaks some tackles. Montana State will go to work on offense, 1st and 10 from the 27. Game plan, Dean, for Sacramento State. I guess nothing to lose this afternoon as we take a look first at the Montana State starting offense. And up front, the big fellas, Jensen, Figueroa, Jeff Bolton under center, and the right tackle is Joe Hurst. Michael Bass gets the start at tailback this afternoon. Rick Gatewood, Chaz Gwynn, Trumaine Murray, the wideouts, along with tight end Elliot Barnhart. The quarterback is, of course, senior Travis Lulay. First play from scrimmage, and Lulay throws it out. That's complete. Up over the 40 to the 45, and already a nice gain for Montana State as Murray makes the catch and out over the 45-yard line. Let's take a look at the Sacramento State defense. Up front, it's Henderson, Hertz, Brooks, and Mike Bannett. The linebacking core, Matt Logue, Tyson Butler, and Steve Lynn. And in the backfield, it's Brandon Smith and McDonald. The corners, Weber and Shelton are the safeties. Gain all the way to the 44, 1st and 10 for Montana State. Opening drive just underway, first quarter.
Pretty good secondary for Sac State. Young but good, two good linebackers. And the bad news, probably all of them will be pretty busy this afternoon.
Here's Lulay, fires to the outside, and that one is dropped by Miller. Had it in his hands, incomplete pass, brings up 2nd and 10. Well, Dean talked about Sacramento State. We documented their troubles coming into this game. Just 2 wins on the season, so you go on the road. You've lost 16 straight games. What kind of approach do you take to this game this afternoon?
Well, every game is one game now if you're Sacramento State. All that other stuff doesn't count. It's just this game right now, and if you need anything as a refresher, remember what happened last year down in Sacramento. So the light at the end of the tunnel may be a flickering flashlight, but at least there's something there.
All right, so the incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10 from the 44 for Travis Lulay in Montana State. This time Lulay straight drop, looks to his left, fires out, and that is complete to Groves, and Evan Groves up over midfield of the 45 and a first down.
No pretense at all of running game for the Bobcats, because remember a year ago Lulay lit up Sac State down there for 516 yards in a losing cause. So, and remember the Bobcats are going into the win at least maybe this half of the field. If you look here, there's 3 different flags in the stadium, either goalposts and up on the edge of the stands, and all of the flags at those 3 respective spots are all blowing in different directions. So you figure it out.
First down for Montana State up over midfield as Groves receives the last pass on the catch. So drive stays alive now, and this time the give is to Groves. He's met in the backfield and a loss on the play. And a nice job by Chris Hertz, who comes in for the stop and a loss of 2.
Well, there's why you don't mess with the running game right now. I mean, now negative yardage, now you're 2nd and long, forcing you back into the passing situation. And that has been the bad news for the Bobcats all season long, that just not a dependable running game.
2nd and 12 from the 47. In this opening drive for Montana State. Sacramento State shows blitz. Lulay, quick drop, fires out. That's complete to Gatewood. And Gatewood close to a first down at the 35-yard line.
It's the other thing, having a senior such as Lulay, looked it all over, knew what he was looking for, and also not even thinking about the wind, or at least knowing how to handle the wind. And of course, when you've got Gatewood out there on the other end of it, once he catches it, he knows what to do with it.
46 receptions on the season for Gaywood for 581 yards and 5 touchdowns. He has been the favorite target of Travis Lulay this season and comes up with the catch there, the senior out of Richmond, Oregon. 3rd and 1. They give us to Groves, slam straight up the middle, and that's good for the first down.
Remember last week you saw Groves one time. He fumbled. Nice pickup and fumble. Didn't see him again. Getting the nod again today. The good feet, the quick feet, he can get it done. And the play before that we forgot to mention with Lulay finding Gatewood. Sac State was trying the blitz. The Bobcats picked it up, so it gave him enough time. And bingo, there's number 1 out there. And that's why he is number 1.
It's first down to the 33. Opening drive in the first quarter. Lulay straight back to pass, looks out to his left, still looking, now fires in and out of the hands of Groves. Incomplete pass. We saw Evan run out in the Portland State game, Dean and I. We were impressed with his ability to run hard and up and inside between the tackles. And as you mentioned last week, came in, took 1 snap, fumbled the football, and we did not see him the rest of the day.
Running back for the Bobcats, you need to be able to run, you need to be able to catch the ball, but I think at the top of the list and going up over those two is you need to be able to block. And being a freshman redshirt, that's the thing, the understanding that you have to have, that you can do those other two and be the best on the team, but if you can't block, you're going to be a spectator.
Well, you saw his numbers. He has the best average of any running back, 4.7 per carry, coming into this afternoon's game. So 2nd and 10 on the incomplete pass for MSU. Lulay fires across on the slant pattern, caught by Chaz Gwynn right at the first down marker. And a nice play by Gwynn to bring that one in on the low throw from Lulay. But that should be enough for the first down.
Well, I think some of the Sac State coaches and players down there thought it was a trap. But again, Lulay, I mean, the time that he has, well, whether it's a trap or not, knocked around, it's a catch.
It's a catch.
The guys in the stripes say catch. Guess what? The vote is 1-0. You lose.
Well, you talked about that game at Sacramento State last year, Dean. It was a wild one. I know you were out there and did that game. 38-28 was the score. And in that game, Ryan Mole rushed for 245 yards. He was the 1AA National Player of the Week, and he was a guy we were looking forward to seeing this afternoon, but as you mentioned, he will not play today.
Well, the Bobcats were ready. They wanted to tackle him coming off the bus when they got up here just so they'd see what it felt like, but he didn't make the trip. Injured, but boy, he's a heck of a running back, and he just burned him last year.
Well, he's been dinged up in his career, only his 2nd season with Sacramento State, but in 13 games when he's been healthy, Dean, he's rushed for over 1,600 yards.
Yeah, he's a big-time running back. Great find for Sac State. One of the better ones in the Big Sky.
So Gwynn on the reception gets just enough for the first down to the 22-yard line. Lulay has time, now pulls it down and keeps the football inside the 20 to the 16. And the quarterback draw again for Lulay. Comes in as the team's leading rusher as well as the #1 passer in the Big Sky Conference, and a gain of 5 on the play.
Yeah, one thing you see Lulay do what he does so well. Read it all. Great decision making. Timing is everything. Here comes the pressure. Whoops, I'll step away from you. And here we go. And Coach Mike Kramer, in talking with him this week, said those rushing numbers for Lulay, not just this year being the leading rusher, but through his career, are kind of freaky because the Bobcats don't run the option. He has the numbers kind of an option quarterback, and the Bobcats don't run the option.
2nd and 4 after the gain of 6. This time the pitch to Groves, looks for some running room, and he's whacked right at the line of scrimmage. Nice job by Mike Brannon to make the stop on Groves.
Groves a tough little guy too, but good pass receiver, and you know, obviously maybe the running back of the future for the Bobcats, but getting his shot again today, and as we talked about, the fumble, and I'm guessing he must not have fumbled at all this week in practice because he's back in there and has had a couple of carries already.
We thought last week that Montana State played down to their competition a little bit against Northern Arizona, let them get back in the game after the 22-0 lead. Jacks tied the game. Cats wound up winning it. I think this week we're going to see a much more focused team from Montana State, and I'd be surprised to see that happen again. This time Lulay fires across the middle, has a man inside the 5, and that's Gwynn stretching for the end zone. And he'll be stopped just short of the goal line.
Going to mark it down around the 1. He is doing a good job of stretching out, trying to get 6. He knew exactly where he was. But again, look at the time that Lulay has. as he just stands there and then steps up and picks out Gwynn, who again had himself some room to it, nestled down right in the middle. And now it's 1st and goal from the 1.
Well, and that's the trouble with the Montana State receivers. You want to double Gatewood or you want to double Tremaine Murray, and then you've got Chaz Gwynn out there who can really hurt you in a lot of ways.
The buffet bar.
Yes.
One of these, 2 of those.
We saw him make a spectacular catch in last week's game against Northern Arizona. 1st and goal, Lulay calls his own number. Right at the goal line, no signal yet. And there it is, touchdown for Montana State. So on the quarterback keeper, Travis Lulay goes in from a yard out, and the Bobcats are on the board first.
Obviously did virtually all of it through the air as you're looking at that, but did a good job of taking about 5.5 minutes and doing about 73 yards on the drive. And a great way to open the ball game going into the wind, because that cuts down any advantage Sac State might have with the tailwind.
Hastings on for the extra point. Ball down, kick on the way, and it's good. So 9:35 to go in the opening quarter. Bobcats strike first. They lead Sacramento State 7-0.
These days, filling up is getting more and more expensive, so do it less often in a Ford. For 2006, we have 25 models that get 25 miles per gallon, or better. Like the fuel-efficient Ford Freestyle with up to 27 miles per gallon. It's how Ford is helping you live a full life. Visit your Montana Ford store today.
Sunday, an all-new Desperate Housewives gets wicked.
Does this mean what I think it means?
And it's a wild time in suburbia.
He's just gonna get me into bed now. That's where the magic is.
With a little proposal.
Are you planning to pop the question?
That's the plan.
A big confession.
I'm in love with you.
What?
And one uninvited guest.
We need to talk.
It's their juiciest hour yet.
You're not waiting for the pop.
Freeze!
An all-new Desperate Housewives, Sunday, 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Come on, Dad, let's go.
You know, son, you need really special winter tires. Toyo Tires actually test and develop their tires for our winter. They're all-round winter tires working great on ice, snow, and other slippery surfaces. They cut into snow. They clear away moisture. Then crushed walnut shells act like tiny steel spikes digging into the surface. Can you feel that grip, son?
The ultimate grip in all winter conditions. Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
Back in Bozeman, where Montana State strikes first on the touchdown pass from the short touchdown run by Travis Lulay. But Dean, the play previous to that looked like Chaz Gwynn might have broke the plane awfully close.
Yeah, the great news, I think, when you have experienced quarterbacks such as Lulay, and experienced, boy, I mean, that's not even the right word. He's beyond that. But you have Gwynn on the other end, all the receiving corps, but they read each other so very well and manage to get right where he needs to be.
Scoring drive, 12 plays, 73 yards, capped off by the Lulay touchdown run. 9:35 to go, so they keep the football for over 5 minutes in that opening drive. Can't start any better than that.
No, exactly. And as I said, going into the wind, and Sac State, of course, deferred and then took the wind at their back. But right now, the Bobcats have cut down the time that you're going to have with the football. So whereas it might have been an advantage, well, guess what? Didn't make any difference for the Bobcats. Certainly wasn't a disadvantage to them.
So Bolton will kick it away as Sacramento State set to receive for the first time this afternoon. Kick coming down right at the 10-yard line, and some running room. Sacramento State with a great return as Keith Davis takes it up over the 30. So the Hornets will have good field position to start their opening drive. Let's take a look now at the Sacramento State offense. Here's the big guys up front: Chris Samuels, Kellum Johnson, Heath Pritchard, and Dustin Nicolotti. Backs and receivers: Terrell Baker, a wide out, along with Bobby Mushagian and Ryan Cogler. Chris Daniels gets the start at tailback today, and Tommy Briggs, the tight end. And the backup at quarterback, Brad Treadway, the senior from Selma, California, gets the start this afternoon for the injured Chris Hurd. First down for the Hornets, first play from scrimmage. Running attempt, maybe 2 on the play. Let's take a look at that Montana State defense now. And up front, it's Darryl Rogers, David Sayatonga, and Aaron Papich. The linebacking core, Marutis, King, Mullahan, and Clayton Curley gets the start over Clive Lowe this afternoon. In the backfield, Hunter and Fuller the corners. Toph Grenfell and Ryan Forrest get the start at safety. Second down for Sacramento State, and Daniels met behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as he's ridden down for a loss of 1 on the play.
5'7", 170, and that big Bobcat front, which is also very mobile. And Daniels on the season coming in. Granted, he's carried the ball about 46 times, only averaging 3 yards per carry. So big difference. It's a tough one for Sac State, quite obviously, where you have one of the top running backs in the league not even on the trip, and you go to the backup. It's tough for the backup, obviously tough for the team.
King on the last step, so 3rd and 8 from the 34. Immediately the Hornets find themselves with 3rd and long. Now movement along the offensive line for Sacramento State, and I think they'll get backed up 5.
Well, the other thing with the wind at your back, quite obviously, you don't want to go 3 and out. I mean, one of the reasons why.
Right, snap. False start. Number 66 on the offense. 5 yards to the previous spot. The down remains 3.
I mean, that's a double dip on the coin flip. You defer, which means you get the football. And here's a picture of what the wind looks like. I mean, it's ripping pretty good. They do have a tailwind. That's the good news. The bad news is they're in a situation where they really need one right now.
Yeah, 3rd and 13 from the 29. Treadway looks back to pass, throws the screen, caught and dropped. Incomplete pass intended for Daniels, and Sacramento State will be forced to kick it away.
He took a peek just before the ball got there. Peeked upfield, and when he looked back, didn't have the football. That is a tough one.
The officials for this afternoon's game, there you see them. Rich Rose, Dan Mahoney, Bob Guerin, the line judge, Pat Aaliyah, Tim Davis, Tommy Frazier, and Scott Marchard. Mitch Lively back to kick now on 4th down from the 15. Corey Austin standing at the 30-yard line to receive. Gets a nice kick away. Flag on the play. And we might get roughing the kicker, and then another flag comes down. So we'll sort this one out. Montana State right now has the ball spotted at the 29-yard line.
Bobcats went for the block, didn't get it, but they did get the punter. Now the difference being running into or roughing, and then you have one back the other way at the other end. So you take a look, and
yeah, it can be the difference between
5 and 15.
5 and 15.
Yeah.
Lively taken down pretty hard after the after he kicked the ball away, but 2 flags, and we'll see what the call is here.
There are multiple fouls on the play. We have a block in the back on the return team, number 25. That's going to be refused. We have a personal foul, roughing the kicker, on number 54 on the defense. That's going to be an automatic first down.
Bobby Daly.
Yep. So Daly gets called for running into Lively, and that'll be an automatic first down for the Hornets as they'll keep this drive alive.
Well, the Bobcats definitely were coming after him, and they were close, but close doesn't count. And then if you can act a little bit, you kind of winged him in the heel.
I don't know.
That's kind of their version of shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, he did a nice job of going to the ground, let's put it that way.
Any remote possibility of contact, just fall down. That's one of the things you learn in punter's acting school.
1st and 10 now from the 44. Here's the throw out there, complete to Mushagian. And Bobby takes it down inside the 45 to the 44, and that's going to be a first down.
Good receiver, but there and again, look at where they are now. Look where they would have been. They'd have been playing defense at about the same part of the football field. Well, this kid is a real deal, too. Also, Coach Steve Mushagian's son played a couple of years high school ball in Ohio when his dad was on the Bengals coaching staff and finished up in Fresno. And doing a good job this year as a freshman.
James Cummings now in at running back for the Hornets. First down from the 43 inside Bobcat territory, and Cummings gets the call. Met at the line of scrimmage, keeps the feet moving, and a good gain on the play. Nick Marutis in on the stop for the Bobcats. Well, Dean, when you look at the Big Sky Conference, the makeup of the league, you got two major market teams. You got Portland State and Sacramento State. The one thing that I wonder is with so many people in that Sacramento area, why do they continue to struggle with their football program and recruiting players?
Well, I think that's something that's up to Coach Mushagan and his staff to answer, because he's from down there with all of his years at Fresno State. That's, you know, within a reasonable proximity, and you figure that out because the talent has to be there. I mean, it should be there. You're right. That should be a hotbed for talent.
There's an incomplete pass out to the 25-yard. Well, you look at just the sheer numbers of high schools and junior colleges in that area, and you're in a metropolitan area of about 2 million people, and then you look at the history of Sacramento State, and this is a team that's really struggled to win football games, especially in the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, in talking to him this week, he wanted to talk about, well, I'll take wide receiver. You got Baker's a freshman, okay, and you've got coach's son Bobby Mushagan is a freshman. You got Philip Perry, who's a sophomore. You got a couple of juniors in there and so on. So he wanted to talk a little bit about that you're trying to build with that. Kids who are not only from the area, but are good football players.
Mushagan goes in motion on 3rd and 6. Cummings with the call straight ahead, and this is going to be a first down at the 30-yard line. Boy, nice job of that offensive line clearing the way for Cummings. Epi King in on the stop, but not before the Hornets pick up a first down.
Running back by committee. Cummings is the man right now, but also with 220 pounds, straight ahead, powerful runner, and that's the guy they needed right there. Obviously, he came through. Just put the head down, nothing fancy.
Nope.
Just right on through. Bobcats grab hold and hang on, but it's a first down. But again, you go back to the roughing the punter penalty. And here's Sacramento State right now taking advantage.
Cummings again gets the call, busts it up over the 30, inside the 25, and a big gain on first down. Well, Montana State's inability to stop the run has been a problem, Dean, at times this season. They are number 1 in the Big Sky Conference to get the pass, but against the run, they have struggled.
Cummings hasn't put up the big numbers, averaging 3.8 yards a carry. He'd only carried 27 times coming into this game, but again, you get your shot and you deliver, and that's what he's done. They bring Daniels back, though, for this one.
Daniels back in. Mushagan and Fanucci now split to the right. Daniels gets the call, leaps over the defensive line of the Bobcats. He'll be very close to the first down.
And about half the football shy, I think he needed. Well, I don't know. Look at that stick over there. They're going to measure it. I think he probably, well, he did get it.
Gave him the first down. So
they clear the pile, yeah.
You see his numbers, 46 for 137 yards, 3 yards a carry and a touchdown. So a very inexperienced group at running back for the Hornets, but it's been an impressive drive in this first quarter.
Here they were looking at 4th down, they had negative yardage in their first possession, punting it away, and now here they are down at the 20-yard line.
Baker back in. The give is to Daniels. Breaks a tackle to the 15, to the 10, 5. Touchdown, Sacramento State. What a great run by Daniels as he slid off the line of scrimmage, tucked it up inside, and then went in from the score from 20 yards out.
Well, there's two schools of thought. The Bobcats took it all the way down the field in their first possession, throwing it. Sac State with the tailwind does it running it.
An impressive drive for Sacramento State, as they have come down and scored their first touchdown of the first quarter. And, you know, they're doing what a lot of teams have done against Montana State, Dean, and that's run the football effectively.
Now, the Bobcats have not been able to stop opponents' running games this year. Sacramento State going with their second and third team tailback.
Gamboa's extra point is good. 4:48 to go first quarter. We're tied at 7. back in Bozeman, where Sacramento State has tied this football game on the 20-yard touchdown run by Daniels at 4:48 to go in this opening quarter. And you take a look at some of the Bobcat fans. The wind really starting to pick up. Lots of sunshine in Bozeman this afternoon, Dean, but that wind do a lot of tricky things, especially as we get deeper into the ballgame.
Well, I didn't realize it was blowing as hard as it was. Those guys we just saw have already turned blue.
Well, it's a little cold, but the Bobcat fans, of course, the kids out there, no shirts on. That's just the way it works here. 7 plays, 56 yards, 2:47 off the clock, and Daniels caps it off with the touchdown run. Miller and Dominic back to receive, and here is the kick. This one coming short and out of bounds, so that'll bring the flag, and Montana State will have good field position to start their second drive of the afternoon.
All right, you take a look at the touchdown for Sac State.
Kick out of bounds on the kicking team, number 35. The ball will be administered at the 35-yard line by roll.
You're just going to see the alley. I mean, he kind of makes his own alley, but Daniels, no problem at all, coming right out of there for the touchdown. You see the hole right there, and he just slips right on through. Hello, end zone. Give me 6.
Yeah, not hard to do after he broke the initial line of scrimmage, Dean. There was just nobody there. And he runs in to tie the game at 7. So Montana State with the ball on the 35 after the kick sailed out of bounds. 5 wide receivers set for the Bobcats. Empty backfield for Lulay. Hornets come with the blitz. Lulay looks across the middle, fires for Miller, who lays out and makes a sensational catch at the 41-yard line. Javon Miller just lays his body out and somehow managed to bring that one in.
Now that's what you're supposed to do. You're a receiver, you got the mitts on. Lulay with time, pressure coming right at the end, just ahead of taking contact, and boom, right there laying out. Perfect. Ball had to be right there. That's where it was. And then the good news is you get a receiver who will hold on.
Yeah, this receiving corps for Montana State is impressive. The senior out of Anchorage, Alaska. First down at the 41 for the Bobcats in a 7-7 game. This time the pitch is to Groves. Breaks one tackle, gets up inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. And Evan Groves, good hard running for 5 on the play.
Well, to make that passing game go, obviously, that'll come in handy. You have to have some positive yardage running it, because when you're running the play action, if you're ground game and going, they're not ever going to buy the play action. So you get a few games like that, and that'll open up the passing game.
And Dean, we talk about Travis Lulay's numbers, and each week he just moves up, and up the career passing numbers.
Heading to number 3 here, probably before this one is done. He's already moved up to number 4 today.
He's in pretty good company with Jamie Martin and Doug Nussmeier, Dave Dickinson out of the University of Montana. 2nd and 5 as Lulay looks long and deep in the corner for Miller, and this time broken up nicely. Good coverage back there by Brandon Smith.
Miller held up a little in the pattern, though. I think if he hesitated, not that he totally broke stride, but he hesitated enough, and Lulay put it up there, but the old no harm, no foul, because if Miller couldn't get to it, the defender couldn't either.
Big game for Montana State, of course, tied with the Grizzlies. Dean atop the Big Sky at 3-1. We're down to the final 3 weeks of the regular season, and so many things can happen between now and that Cat Grizz game coming up in a few weeks. And this one, the start of the stretch drive for Montana State. 3rd and 5 on the incomplete pass. Lulay looks out to his right, and that is complete for a first down to Chaz Gwynn. And again, Gwynn with a nice job of going low to haul that one in and keep the drive alive. Montana down in Flagstaff this afternoon to take on Northern Arizona. And again, depending on where you're playing and who you're playing, there's never a gimme in this league. And Northern Arizona put up a pretty good test against this Montana State team a week ago.
Yeah, the Grizzlies finish it out on the road down at Sac State, and then here in Bozeman. And Eastern Washington finishes out the league part of their schedule, only one game, and that is next week in Cheney against these Bobcats. And the Bobcats with 2 out of the last 3 at home, this being one of them. So those would be your top 3, but look out in the back door for Portland State and Weber State.
1st and 10 from the 27. Lulay looks to pass, still looking, now throws into the end zone for Gwynn, and this one incomplete. will bring up second down. Yeah, you get below the Cats and the Grizz, and then you've got Eastern Washington, Weber State, and Portland State, all with 2 losses and very much in the mix.
This is what, if you're the commissioner, as an example, that you would like this a lot. You want to race all the way up to the end, and apparently it is going to go all the way up to the end to the last game, which is interesting. And then the ratings this week were out. The Big Sky Conference not only is has the best rating of any 1AA league, but the Big Sky Conference also, I believe, is ahead of at least one Division 1A conference. So it's a tough league, which helps down the road where you might get 2 teams into the playoffs instead of just your conference champ. You get the conference champ plus 1.
2nd and 10 from the 27, and this time flags are down before the play is snapped.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 53 on the offense. 5 yards to the spot. We'll repeat, 2nd down.
Bobcats with no pretense in this one, going right into the wind and going with the ball in the air. But again, that's what Sac State gave to them last year down there, even though the Bobcats came up short. So until they take that away from you. But somewhere along the line, I mean, you look at Don Bailey with his play calling, somewhere along the line, look out, somebody's going to bust loose for a big one on the ground.
2nd and 15 from the 32 as the Cats are backed up 5. Here's Lulay. Blitz coming, and he is still on his feet. Breaks 1 tackle.
Face mask in there, too. Had him first by the face mask. I'm surprised it took that long to throw the flag, but they had him first. He did come out of the pack, but that's how they pulled him down. Grabbed a hold of that like a door handle.
Brannon in on the stop, but he'll get flagged for the face mask, and that'll be a 1st down for Montana State.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask on the defense, number 43. We are 15 yards from the end of the run. That's an automatic 1st down.
Tyson Butler with the face mask call there.
And he is a great defender. I mean, he does a great job. But that time, he got a little extra leverage.
What's interesting, Dean, in above and beyond the Big Sky Conference race is what's going to happen on that selection committee when you have a Big Sky champion and then you've got 2 or 3 teams that are going to be right there. How many of those are going to get into the postseason?
That's where you want to look at your national rankings every week, too. Those will count at the end of the year. 1AA, they do make a lot of difference. I mean, it's as legitimate a playoff system as you would hope to have in football. And the Big Sky has been able to capitalize on that, obviously, with teams from the Big Sky doing well every year.
1st and 10 from the 17. Quick pitch to Gatewood. Breaking tackles inside the 10. And a nice job by Gatewood after the catch. Pickup of 8 down to the 10-yard line will bring up 2nd and short.
One thing Coach Kramer talks about is how Lulay and offensive coordinator Don Bailey are always on the same wavelength, that they just read it. Well, add the receivers in there with Lulay and his receivers. He knows where they are or should be, or a combination of both. And he just knows where to look and what the most logical spot would be to deliver the football. Just does a great job.
2nd and 3 from the 10. Here comes the blitz. Lulay fires, almost picked off by Brannon, went right into his hands. And good pressure on Lulay. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 3.
If Brannon had been expecting that, he doesn't expect to see a pass coming where he is. He would have had the nice pick because Lulay hit just as he let it go and kind of changed the direction. He was right there, but what? Yeah, that was the football.
Elliot Barnhart, the tight end, will check into the lineup now. Jensen looked like he was shaken up a little on that play, but he stays in on 3rd and 3. Lulay looks into the end zone, feels pressure now, just throws it away. And nobody open, so a good job by the Hornets secondary in pass coverage, and Travis simply had to unload the football.
Kind of a strange call with relatively short yardage. Number one with Lulay's ability to scramble and to run. I'm surprised on that, but still going to get a chance to kick it up and through. But
look at that win. I mean, hard to tell if you're watching on your TV screen, but that win is really whipping around. So the football be placed at the 17. So a 27-yard field goal attempt by Hastings. Kick on the way, got the distance, and it's good. Jeff Hastings splits the uprights, 1:32 to go first quarter. Montana State up 10-7.
Spring, summer, winter, and fall. 4 Seasons does it all. Professional in parking lot and landscape maintenance. Integrity, dependability, knowledge, service. Asphalt rejuvenation to sprinkler irrigation. Tree and turf care to snow and ice liability management. Progressive, protective, curative, creative. We protect your investments. Hardscape, softscape, landscape. You can escape when you call 4 Seasons. Total property maintenance. Serving all Montana and Idaho markets. One call does it all. 1-866-606-2467.
Hi, I'm Eric Kinnaman.
And I'm Joe Baker. You know, a few years ago, Eric and I were teammates here at Montana State University.
As members of CAP football, we live the values of honor, integrity, loyalty, and personal courage.
As a team, Bobcat football breeds pride, tradition, and camaraderie.
Today, Joe and I carry on these values as proud members of the Montana Army National Guard.
The Montana Guard has a proud and storied history of serving our great state and nation. You too can be a member of this team.
And every once in a while, we still get the chance to lay the hit on someone.
If it's in Montana, if it affects your community, if it's relevant to your everyday lives, you'll find it on the Montana News Network. The Montana News Network brings you total coverage of regional news, sports, and weather at 10 p.m. each weeknight, live from our studios in the heart of Montana. The Montana News Network is working for you, covering the stories that are informative, the stories that matter. The Montana News Network, working for you in the spirit of Montana.
Bobcat Game Day is brought to you by 4 Seasons Property Maintenance, your Montana Ford stores, and by Toyo Tires.
Back in Bozeman, where the Hastings field goal ups the lead to 10-7 for Montana State with 1:32 to go in the opening quarter. And a little squib kick now that comes down to the 25-yard line. And Montana State with excellent kick coverage. 1st and 10 from the 30. Let's go down below to Chris Bach.
Well, guys, Ag Appreciation Week this week, and moments ago, the MSU rodeo team was announced on the field, and I'm joined by head coach Mike True. And coach, you guys are a force to be reckoned with in the Big Sky.
Well, we've had a good year. We're leading the region on both the men's and women's side this fall.
Well, rodeo in this region would be a popular sport, but it's more popular than people would think.
Oh yeah, there's probably close to 130 colleges nationwide that participate in rodeo. We give scholarships, bring kids in from other places, and it's a real sport.
Thanks, coach. We'll get back to the action.
All right, thank you, Chris. And first down, a nice stop by the Montana State defense as Epi King comes in. No gain on the play.
You look at your time of possession, something the Bobcats suffered from last week. 2 possessions, 2 scores. They've had it 8:41 to this point. Sacramento State 4:47. Big difference there. And Lule obviously doing a good job. 9 out of 14, 104. So he's headed for similar numbers to what he put up a year ago on the road down in Sacramento.
2nd and 10 now for the Hornets. Treadway rolls to his right, fires out in the flat, and almost picked off. What a nice job by Ryan Force to break that one up. And our man Chaz Gwynn coming up big again, Dean, in the first quarter.
Yeah, Chaz Gwynn with the Billings Hotel play of the quarter. Lule had a lot of time and just diving in there, catching it, holding on. And if he did indeed trap it, he hit it well. But it went as a catch, and that indeed was the play of the quarter, set up the touchdown.
Well, you look at the Sacramento State offense. Ryan Moll is out. Their quarterback is out. That's over 200 yards of offense they're missing in this game. 3rd and 10 from the 30. Bobcats shift on defense. Treadway looks to pass, and now he's going to be taken down inside the 25 as the Bobcat defense swarmed Treadway behind the line of scrimmage. And a good stop in there by Chris Coloni to make the play.
Well, he had almost an opportunity. Had a protector in front of him. One to throw. Had a little bit of time. Slowed up enough. And then look out. Here you go. And it's Tim Burr. And that's been the wrap on Treadway. The foot speed is a little bit lacking. You talk about changing quarterbacks too. Don't forget the timing, and you get used to the cadence and so on of a quarterback, and then suddenly you go to another one.
Well, they get the kick away just as the time expires in the first quarter. Austin lets this one bounce inside the 40. Now he picks it up and will run the football. Nice job by Corey. Austin heads up plays. Let the ball bounce, and 1 quarter of football is in the books. Montana State leads Sac State 10-7. (10-7) ball game in Bozeman. Montana State on top of Sacramento State. There's your total yards, dominant by the Bobcats, 118-53. But, Dean, we talked about the fact that their starting quarterback and running back not playing this afternoon, and that's an awful lot to ask from that Sac State offense.
Yeah, Chris Hurd has been the man at quarterback for them. Here's your picture of the wind. You can see the difference. There's the flag. There's the flags on the goalpost at the far end, the opposite end of where that flag is. So the flag is whipping, but you see kind of a different direction on the streamers at the goalpost at the other end. But, yeah, you take Mole out of there and Chris Hurd at quarterback, and it makes a big difference.
First down for Montana State. Great field position at the 47. Lulay pulls it back. Looks long and deep. Fires out there at the 10-yard line and just overthrows Javon Miller, who had a step on his man.
I think without the wind, it would have been 6.
Yeah.
But I think that's the deal, where you're trying to adjust for that. You saw that last punt, how it just kind of changed a little bit. He aired it out, and he got a little bit more air from the assist from Mother Nature on that one. But that was, he's going deep all the way because they had Dominic in there to block.
7 of 15 for 104 yards on the afternoon. Brandon Roosevelt checks in at wide receiver for Montana State. Not seen much of him this fall, Dean.
No, coming back from an injury last year, and the receiving core is deep. So, I mean, it's tough to move up the chart.
Another Oregon product out of Wilsonville. Here's Lulay. Blitz coming. Man open. Gatewood had it and dropped it at the 35.
Put it right in the hands. He got right between the seams. Tony DeMonico dropped back there in front of him from his linebacker spot. Got a little help from the secondary coming up and Darrell Oliver, but Gatewood was there, but it was right off his hands.
Well, it's pretty clear as the season has wore on, Dean, and we watch these opposing defenses try to handle Montana State. I mean, the blitz packages exclusively because of the inability to run the ball, and obviously the coaches are trying to find a way to put pressure on Lulay, make him hurry the throws, and we're seeing a lot of that from the Sac State defense today.
Yeah, and we've seen it the other way. Rush 3 and drop 8, and most of it obviously hasn't worked.
Great pressure again, and Travis simply has to throw it away. Big number 91 comes flying in there. That's James Henderson, defensive lineman. 240-pound sophomore. has Lulay throwing the ball away. So 4th and 10 and a good stop for Sac State right at midfield.
Henderson with 8 tackles for loss on the season coming in. He's about their 6th leading tackler. And I believe he is just a sophomore. He is, and hometown youngster that you were alluding to earlier on about all the talent in the area. Hometown youngster, they obviously got to stay at home, and he'll help them a lot for the next couple of years.
Mushagian standing back at the 20-yard line. Lulay, of course, to do the punting for Montana State. Rolls out to his right, now kicks. Mushagian fields it at the 20 to the 25 and then ridden out of bounds after a short 6-yard gain. Just underway, second quarter. Bobcats lead 10-7 over Sac State. As we mentioned, down to the final 3 games of the Big Sky Conference football race. We knew it was going to be close. We knew it was going to be good. And it has been just that way.
It's been an interesting history between the two because everybody kind of takes their shot. MSU did have a nice streak there from 0-1 to 0-3 on the win, and then last year Sac State broke that one. And you go back to Cliff Heisel days when Sac State won 2 out of 3 back then before MSU started the streak.
First down from the 27 for the Hornets. Give us to Daniels up to the 30-yard line. Yes, interesting series in particular, Dean, in the last 3 years. You go back to the 0-2 season, and it was Nate Cook that had the 36-yard field goal. Cats won 31-30. The next year, Montana State won big, and then, of course, last year, Montana State going down to Sac State and getting beat 38-28 despite over 500 yards of total offense.
Visited all portions of the real estate down there last year, but left the end zone vacant for the most part. That won't get it done.
And that led to that 4-game losing streak in the back half of the season. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7 from the 30. And this time, Daniels nothing doing, ridden down.
Epi King, the fastest guy on the Bobcats, who happens to be a linebacker, and showed the speed on that one as he just came through the hole and nobody slowed him down.
Well, Coach Mushagian has lots of coaching experience. He's in his 3rd season with Sac State. He has struggled. Prior to that, he was the wide receiver coach for the Cincinnati Bengals from 99 to 02. He was also the offensive coordinator with Pittsburgh for a couple of seasons. So he does bring some big-time credentials.
Charging to Sacramento State. That's the first timeout this half.
Timeout on the field, 13:29 to go second quarter. Bobcats by 3. (10-7) our score. Montana State leads it early in the second quarter, and the Hornets facing 3rd and 8 from the 29. Treadway with the straight drop, looks out over the middle, has a man complete. That's to the tight end, Torrey Briggs. And Briggs close to the first down.
Wasn't a great throw, but a heck of a reception. Bobcats knew what he was going to do and couldn't get enough pressure. But a great job of bend and reach, I guess is the best way I describe that.
Briggs out of Merced, California, the senior tight end, brought down by Mullahan on the play, but it is enough for a first down to the 37.
Of course, at 6'5", 240, that's a nice target.
It is. Well, Montana State has, in its last 5 games, have been decided by 7 points or less, so certainly used to close ball games. Here's Daniels with a little running room, but then wrapped up right away at the line of scrimmage. Couldn't get to the outside as Epi King again closing down to make the stop. Epi's been busy today.
He's been very busy.
Look at that pursuit.
Trying to turn the corner, but boy, he, with the great foot speed, also great lateral movement, rolling side to side. You know, we're seeing a little bit of kind of what we saw last week for the Cats against Northern Arizona. You leave them hang around. Yeah. It's only 10-7 right now. MSU's had the football. They've run up some yards, but they only lead 10-7.
2nd and 9 from the 38. Pass thrown incomplete for Mushagian, who hadn't even turned to look for the football. So third, you got in potentially in for a long afternoon when your defensive linebackers are a lot faster than the running backs, and you saw Daniels a couple of plays ago trying to turn that corner, and then the speed of Montana State's defense just shutting it down.
Bobcat defense caused a little hurry up that time, and I'm not so sure that ball might not have been deflected. It wobbled a little, and Mushagian wasn't really looking for it when it got there. So I think the defense forced him to speed up the delivery a little bit.
3rd and 9 from the 38. Another big third down play for the Hornets, trying to hang around against Montana State. Here comes the blitz by Grenfield, thrown out there incomplete to Perry. And Perry will be short of the first down at the 45.
Good job of reading and making the hit by LeBlanc, the free safety for the Bobcats, a transfer this fall from Boise State. They got there just in time. Yards after the catch. Coaches always like to talk about that. It's one thing if they catch it, but if they go nuts with it after they get it. A good throw. Got it right there, but no yardage after that. That was the key.
And that brings up 4th down and a punting situation.
Into the wind again.
Lively standing back at his 32. And he's going to pull it down and run the football. Lively over the 45 to midfield in Bobcat territory. That's a first down. Lively catch the Bobcats sleeping, and a big play to keep the drive alive.
Well, Lively knows there might be an extra spot for another running back. Why not? There's his audition tape. Good job there. You can tell that was called all the way. Watch the snap. He goes down and gets it. There is no hesitation. And he's rolling right up there. He didn't need that much, rather gingerly. But he gets him the first down and in Bobcat territory.
Well, it's executed perfectly. They pulled Logue, the linebacker, and he was out there in front of him. And there was no way he was not going to get the first down. The gain is all the way to the 44 of Montana State. 1st and 10.
This game just got a whole lot more interesting.
And this time the give is to Cummings. Not much running room there. Maybe a yard on the play.
Now Sacramento State doing to the Bobcats what the Bobcats did in the first quarter. Keeping the Bobcats from having the wind at their back. Because it doesn't make any difference on defense. Here's the Big Sky Player of the Week here. Last week or so ago. Mac Mullahan right there, just plugging the gap in the hole, reading it all the way. Sticking his nose in the middle, which he's very good at doing.
Baker split wide to the right. Mushagian split left, and Cummings in the backfield. 2nd and 9 from the 43. Treadway feels the pressure, now rolls out to his right and simply throws it away.
Marutis is mad at himself. He had him, couldn't grab a hold, find anything to get a hold of and pull him down, but he did force the incompletion. But he was sure he had him sacked back inside the 50, but Treadway got away.
Incomplete pass brings up another 3rd and 9. Well, you look at the 2 drives, Dean, for Sacramento State. The opening drive that led to the touchdown, you had the roughing the kicker. This drive, you get the 4th down, you fake the punt, 1st down to keep the drive alive. So a couple of key plays in both of those possessions to keep this thing close early in the first half.
Well, Sacramento State came to play, obviously. They're pulling out all the stops.
Oh, I got to give him credit. Treadway with the straight drop. Tries to set up the screen. Just throws that one into the ground. And now a late flag coming in.
Well, they had to look around, check out the receivers, check where he was, and I believe they're going to nail him for intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding.
Yep.
On the quarterback, number 8. For the offense. We'll go. We have a loss of down. Ball will be at the spot of the foul.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but really he didn't have much else he could do. So here comes the pressure, and he knew there wasn't going to be anybody there going to get it.
There was nobody within 10 yards of the football.
Those linemen haven't been down to get anything that low since they laced their shoes on before the game, so they're not going to intercept it.
Well, Lively stands back at his 35, which was right where he was on the last 4th down, but I think we'll see him kick it away.
Timeout. Charge it to Montana State. That's the first timeout this half.
And the Bobcats want to talk about it. Timeout on the field, 11:15 to go in the second quarter.
Why have some of Montana's largest businesses switched to Transaria? Maybe because they are Montana-owned, or because Transaria provides service and products second to none. Mostly because Transaria can provide it all. Private networks, internet, and now VoIP. VoIP allows businesses to turn the internet into a valuable communication tool. The telephone, long distance or local, and clearest traditional service. Save up to 30% on your phone bill. Get rid of multiple bills and get VoIP from Transaria. The simple solution is Transaria. Call today.
At Northwestern Energy, we work hard to educate about the dangers of natural gas.
I've seen this happen before. You smell a strong natural gas odor, ignore it, and then flip a switch, light a candle, or use the phone. Never ignore the warning signs. If you smell natural gas, leave the area immediately, then call us.
Remember, if the odor is strong, don't stay long. Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you.
Come on, Dad, let's go!
You know, son, you need really special winter tires. Toyo Tires actually test and develop their tires for our winter. They're all-round winter tires working great on ice, snow, and other slippery surfaces. They cut into snow. They clear away moisture. Then crushed walnut shells act like tiny steel spikes digging into the surface. Can you feel that grip, son?
The ultimate grip in all winter conditions. Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
4th and 17 for Sac State right at midfield. Lively back to kick, and Corey Austin stands at his 20-yard line. Bobcats are going to set up for return here.
Sacramento State, 2 big opportunities. One, they ran for the first down, and the other, of course, roughing the punter, taking advantage of it. But this time,
what nice, big, booming kick.
Beauty into the wind there.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Bounces right at the 1-yard line and down at the 5. So Lively with a great kick inside the 10, and Montana State will start deep in their own end. Dean checking the Big Sky Conference standings. We talked about it. The Cats and the Grizz at top of 3-1, but then you have Weber State, Eastern Washington, just with a couple of losses. So much to be decided in Portland State also with those 2 losses.
Yeah, those 2 losses, and you could end up, as you can see right there, you could end up with 4 ball clubs possibly with 2 losses, and then you start sorting it out with the tiebreakers. That could happen, which would make it real interesting.
1st and 10 from the 6-yard line. Bobcats start this drive deep in their own end. Here comes the blitz again off the corner. Lulay rockets one out to Gwynn, who makes the catch at the 15, up over the 20. First down, Montana State. Well, we talked about the Big Sky standings, but also equally important is that top 25 poll, which is going to be so important at the end of the season. Montana State coming into the game 12th in the country.
Yeah, you want to stay in that top dozen. Again, Lulay with plenty of time and a nice cushion, and Gwynn read it well. Just Darrell Oliver was sitting back on him, and Gwynn just gets right in front of him, and Lulay gets the ball to him.
Montana number 4, Eastern Washington number 11, Montana State number 12. Those are your 3 teams ranked in the top 20 right now out of the Big Sky Conference. 1st and 10 from the 22. Here's Lulay again off the drop. Has all kinds of time, now rolls to his left, and he's going to be taken down for a loss on the play.
Well, there's one time he was a little slow in the decision making, but give Sacramento State credit. They had everybody blanketed, and as he tried to get out of there, circling in from his left and pulling him down.
Matt Logue with a nice play defensively, and you see Dean Travis with plenty of time to throw the ball now. It gets flushed out of the pocket, and then Logue in there for the tackle to bring up a loss of 5 on the play, 2nd and 15 from the 17.
Anderson again in on the play. They'd blocked him to the outside, so he just came back up and helped on the stop. But you talk about that Eastern Washington can move up this week there at Cal Poly, and Cal Poly with the injury bugaboo too, so Eastern a chance to win that, and they could move up in the rankings also, because Cal Poly, even though they got the injuries right now, still in the top 25. So Eastern may get a boost if they can pick up a win down there today.
Here comes the blitz off the corner again. This time Roosevelt bounces off his pads, and then Lowe gets the interception. Keeps the football inside the 10 and out of bounds at the 8. A huge break for Sacramento State, as the pass intended for Roosevelt bounced right off his shoulder pads and into the arms of Logue, who takes it inside the 10.
Well, that's his 2nd interception of the season. He also is the leading tackler, and we talked about him. He's had 4. This is his 4th year with Sacramento State out of Grass Valley, California, and he is one of the top defenders in the Big Sky. And believe me, that's a heads-up play. There's the ball. Look what I got. And then he knew what to do with it. Just put the head down and said, I think I'll just see how close I can get to that end zone.
Boy, I tell you, Sacramento State just hanging around in this game. Dean, you talked about it a few minutes ago. Couple of key breaks, a turnover here, a turnover there, and now with a chance to take the lead with a 1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
Bad news on that. That interception goes on the quarterback.
Here's Daniels with the call. Slams up over the right tackle for a gain of 3. Takes it down to the 5-yard line.
That's a tough deal on that when you have the ricochet and the quarterback basically has to eat the stat on that. And that's 8 interceptions against Lulay this year versus 15 touchdown passes.
Still pretty good ratio. I'd take that.
Well, yeah, 2 to 1 normally is what they go, and that's what he has.
2nd and goal from the 5. Inside 9 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. Hornets knocking on the door. Mushagan goes in motion. Daniels gets it, has some room, and that is easy. Touchdown Sacramento State. As Daniels finds some running room over the left side. Nobody touched him into the end zone. And Sac State has taken a 13-10 lead.
One quick step to the right and then come right back the other way. The flow is going to his right. He comes back to his left. And there was nobody there, so he's in again. Nice run by Daniels.
Chris Daniels, the backup running back, with the 5-yard touchdown run. And it's a 13-10 game.
And guess who's leading?
Gamboa on for the extra point. Ball's down, kick on the way, and this one is good. 8:46 to go in the 2nd quarter. Sacramento State leads it 14-10. We'll be back after this local break. Sacramento State has the lead. They drive a short one, 2 plays covering 8 yards, capped off by the 5-yard touchdown run from Daniels. And don't go anywhere, folks. We got us a ball game, 14-10. Sacramento State leads over the Cats.
A lot of time in the second quarter, 8:46. The Bobcats with the tailwind, and so obviously going to do what they've been doing, and that is just throw the football.
Well, this was the quarter that would favor Travis Lulay, the win behind his back, but so far unable to capitalize here in the second quarter. Time of possession, which was dominated by Montana State, Dean, in the first quarter, now evening out, and they are dead even on the clock.
Lulay's already thrown 19 balls.
Boy, this one is really short, and a fair catch taken at the 40-yard line, and that was brought down by Nick Parker, backup tight end out of Missoula. So the Cats with excellent field position.
All right, you look at this. He says, I think I'll go this way. Wait a minute. I find room right over here, and I'll loop right in here, and I'll get what you call a touchdown. See, there he goes, and right on over. Had 6.
Well, he makes that play right at the line of scrimmage. He looks right, stops, plants his feet, switches direction, and then by that time the pursuit going the other way, and he literally could have walked in. Rushing yards, boy, big time in favor of the Hornets, but no surprise, Dean, we've seen that stat all year long. Just 10 yards on the ground for Montana State.
And then the other way for the Bobcats, Lulay with 120 passing. So it's 2 different schemes. Sacramento State doing it on the ground, the Bobcats doing it through the air, and right now the ground game is ahead.
And Travis's numbers not up to par today, just 8 of 19. But great field position to start this drive at the 43 after the short kickoff. Lulay looks long and deep, has a man out there, and again, Miller, the intended receiver at the 20-yard line. Let's go down below to Chris Bach.
Well, guys, I talked to Coach Kramer before the game, and he said this is the same Hornet team that whooped them last year, minus their starting running back and quarterback, but they've done just fine. He said they need to pay attention to detail, and 2 of those details were stopping the run and making this Hornet team one-dimensional, and they have not done either of those, and they're trailing by 4. Back to you guys.
2nd and 10. Miller splits out to the right along with Gatewood and Chaz Gwynn. From the 43, Lulay looks right, now left, still has time, up over the 45 to the 48, and makes something out of nothing. Again, good coverage by that Sac State defense.
Well, again, Sac State knows, as we do and everybody in the stadium does, that the Bobcats are probably going to throw the football. So that's what they're playing right now and putting enough pressure on Lulay, but that one would been great coverage in the secondary, which made him run for it. They didn't get to him, but he had no place to go with the football. And also they're going vertical, but I'm not so sure the tailwind is helping him. I think it's hurting because he's had a couple of balls that normally would have been caught, the deep balls, and they're overthrown. I attribute that to the tailwind.
I think you're right. 3rd and 6 from the 47. Here's Lulay, blitz coming off the corner, but not before Gatewood makes the catch at the 40 to the 35. First down, Montana State. Travis Lulay got rid of that football just as he was getting clocked, as Jody Johnson came crashing in and hit him, but Lulay completes the pass on a first down.
Watch the throwing motion on this. Have to go sidearm.
Yep.
Or at least 3/4 at the worst, and there Gatewood just waiting for the mail, and then he made the delivery.
You know, we haven't seen today at all has been Tremaine Murray. Not in the game right now. Second leading receiver behind Gatewood. Justin Dominic now in the backfield for Montana State on first down from the 34.
Lulay will check it off.
Lulay looks out to the left for the pass. It's caught by Gatewood. Short gain on the play.
Jody Johnson, another sophomore up in the secondary to make the stop. And that's one of the things that you look at Sacramento State right now. That's what you see a lot of in the Big Sky. You look at the overall record. Well, you better look ahead because remember, Kramer's first year he was 0-11. All right, and then you went to 5-6 and so on. And Lulay and his bunch right now headed for what should be their 4th straight winning season. behind Travis Lulay, who started about midway through his freshman year.
2nd and 6. Dominic, the deep pitch, has some running room and takes it inside the 25. And that's a first down for Montana State, so good running by Justin Dominic.
Dominic, a good job of reading it, changing direction, and then just bull down in for the touchdown. All right, the good news for the Bobcats on this drive is kind of the bad news. They've only used a little over a minute this possession. They're already down in scoring territory. But again, Dominic, change of direction. Good job of reading it.
First down at the 22. Dominic again. That's Groves gets the call. Up inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
He's ready to spring up and run for 3 more yards, but his knee was already down. There's the quickness, and that's the difference in your 2 running backs. But Groves very quick off the ball. Dominic more of a power runner, but watch the youngster as he gets the handoff, and he sees right away where the hole is, and he's not making any jukes or moves or any fakes. He's just going right where the gap is and right in there down inside the 10-yard line.
Sets up a 1st and goal from the 8. Quick, Dean, but runs hard. 5 for 24 on the day.
And a solid little running back. Not tall, but got some pounds on him.
He'll stay in the game. This time takes the pitch. Inside the 5. Close to the goal line. Touchdown, Montana State. Oh, what a great run by Evan Groves, who got hit right at the line of scrimmage, broke a tackle at the 5, and gets in for the end zone, and Montana State back on top.
Little kid from San Diego. I'll tell you what, last week 1 carry, fumble, goodbye. This week, hello. I mean, this is it. He has been their ground game right now.
Out of the doghouse and into the end zone. So Montana State regains the lead at 16-14. Hastings on for the extra point. And the extra point is up and good. 6:53 to go in second quarter. Montana State back on top by 3.
These days, filling up is getting more and more expensive, so do it less often in a Ford. For 2006, we have 25 models that get 25 miles per gallon or better. Like the fuel-efficient Ford Freestyle with up to 27 miles per gallon. It's how Ford is helping you live a full life. Visit your Montana Ford store today.
This is it. A new season, a new look, a time to build on the past and create a new future. A time to take all the work, dreams, and promise and bring it to the field. Can Travis Lulay orchestrate his offense to the team's 3rd victory in 4 years over the Grizz? Can the revamped defense return to prominence in the Big Sky Conference? Can Mike Kramer hang another conference championship banner in the field house? Join me, Chris Bach, every week as we track the Bobcats and find answers to these questions on an all-new show, Bobcat Football with Mike Kramer.
Tuesday on A Fresh Gilmore Girls, Rory has been living a life of wealth and privilege, but a past love returns.
Jess.
And reminds her who she really is.
What's going on? Living at your grandparents' place? Going out with this jerk with this Porsche?
Logan.
Am I interrupting something? Now she starts to question who she's become.
What am I doing? I'm wasting my time partying. It's all we do.
You want to change? Change it. Don't blame me. Don't you dare blame me.
Fresh Gilmore Girls.
Bobcat Game Day, brought to you by Transarea, Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you, and by the Billings Hotel and Convention Center.
Evan Groves has given the Bobcats back the lead at 17-14. There's the drive, 7 plays, 57 yards. Groves from 8 yards out for the score, and Montana State by 3.
See, he runs the way my finger draws right there, as you watch right through there, that he just does a great job of literally wiggling his way through what in effect is what I'd call a rush hour defense. You got caught in the middle of the intersection, the traffic light changed. It's like, I'll find my way to the end zone myself.
So Bolton will kick it away after the touchdown. Still plenty of time to go in the second quarter, 6:53. Bolton's kick coming down at the 10-yard line, and Baker has it, and he's wrapped up inside the 20. Good kick coverage by Montana State.
All right, you look at this with Evan Groves coming right in there, because that's basically what he does. He just kind of wiggles his way through. He sees the white jerseys, and then he says, well, I think I will just find a crack right in there and just struggle right on into the end zone.
Yeah, that's just some good individual effort too, Dean. I mean, he's hit a couple of times, but still manages to find the end zone. Flag on that kickoff, and we're going to come back and do it again.
It's a great kickoff if it works. You've got him pinned in along the sidelines, and they can take a chance and let it go and bounce out of bounds, maybe. But if it doesn't, then you're in trouble down inside the 10. So your returner has to catch the ball, which he did. But the bad news is the Bobcats were offsides.
So they'll kick it away again, and Sacramento State gets the football back with 6:49 to go in the second quarter, and what has been a much closer football game than I think most would have thought, Dean.
Yeah, Bobcats have done a good job controlling the football, done a good job of getting to the end zone, but guess what? Sacramento State hanging right in there.
Other games in the Big Sky Conference, Portland State at Idaho State this afternoon. Number 4 Montana's in Flagstaff to face Northern Arizona, and Eastern Washington takes on Cal Poly a little bit later today. So Bolton will kick it away again from the 40. This time Line drives it and hits it into the back of the end zone. Great kick by Bolton. Sacramento State will have it 1st and 10 from the 20.
That's the kickoff you want. You have a tailwind. Number one, if anyone had got in front of that and tried to catch it, it would have been difficult, because that was a nice line drive. So just booted it out of the end zone and right up over against the fence.
Bolton out of Great Falls, Montana. AA football opening last night, Dean. The quarterfinals across Montana, and Billings West, the number 1 seed, opening with a very impressive win over Missoula Big Sky. That's a pretty good unit over there.
I think Billings West, with that win, also set a school record for most wins in the season, and they're far from done. It's the way they started the season, just wailing on everybody, and obviously right now, boy, they're still, hey, anybody on the other side of the field, hello.
First down from the 20 for Sacramento State. They'll keep it on the ground as Daniels goes over the right side. And they have Helena Capital opening with the win last night. They're in the semifinals. Kalispell in the semifinals, and Billings Senior will play Great Falls High. That game already underway over in Billings, and that'll set the semifinal brackets.
In this area, folks watching the Belgrade Panthers as they're up in Polson this afternoon. Belgrade having a good year.
Belgrade's an excellent football team. I think they've got to be right there as one of the teams to contend for that State A championship. Gain of 3 on the play from the 23. 2nd and 7. Treadway now throws out to his right, and that's a completed pass, but it's going to go for a loss as Mushagian was hammered by Corey Austin behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, I'll tell you, the better of the lesser of two evils for Sac State on that one, because that could have been intercepted for a touchdown there. I think right now they ought to be happy with the loss, because that could have been 6. Because, boy, you talk about that being a tie. There's the ball, reading it all the way. And the best thing Mushagian could have done probably would have been to just drop the ball for an incomplete pass. But now, here you go, 3rd and long into the wind again.
3rd and 8 from the 22. Crowd on their feet. Big 3rd down play for both teams. Treadway straight back, fires out complete. And that's caught by Baker, but he'll be well short of the 1st down. And that's going to bring up a punting situation as Lively trots into the game.
Remember Lively's last punt? Dropped her right down on the 1-yard line and bounced back up to the 6. I don't think into that wind, I swear, has increased right now. But let's see what he does now, because you need, as in golf, you need a cut shot there. You get it up high, and it's going to blow right back in your face. We've seen a few boomerang punts in this stadium with winds like this.
How was your golf game, by the way?
It's just about like he's probably going to kick it.
Shanker, huh?
I wish him luck.
4th and 3. This time he kind of pulls a Lulay and rolls to his right. Austin will field it at the 45. up over midfield. Great move inside the 40 to the 35. What a great move he makes right at midfield. Little juke, and that bought him 15 extra yards.
Well, that's a tough one when you boot it from your own 25 and they return it back to about the 34. But you look at this, that was a great type of punt, but it doesn't give your coverage unit much time to cover anything, and it's brought back almost to where the line of scrimmage was before.
So Montana State, excellent field position. Corey Austin, the corner out of California, gives Montana State great field position. Of course, he made a great play defensively to set up the punt. First down call, and this is to Groves, who gets just inside the 35, maybe 2 on the play.
Sacramento State a good job of stringing that out, making him run wide, and then he tried to cut it up, but he did get some positive yardage on that. The Bobcats with the tailwind, I think one of the reasons for a call such as that is the longer they can take, if they can get it to the end zone and eat it all up, the better off they'd be, because Sacramento State is going to get the football back to open the second half.
2nd and 7 from the 32. Under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Montana State leading by 3, trying to extend that as they have great field position here. Here's Lulay across the middle, has a man wide open. That's Barnhart inside the 15. And a big tight end and a first down for Montana State.
Keep them guessing. Just roll that thing like a Rolodex there, and the number of the tight end comes up. Barnhart is right there. Lulay knew right who he was looking for, and there he is coming right underneath. They're dropping back. He comes right in under from his tight end spot, makes the catch, and now you're looking at...
If you're a tight end, you're going to be from Broadus. You're not going to be a wide receiver coming out of Powder River, I don't think. 1st and 10 from the 14. Groves, nice move inside the 10 to the 8. Good job of running by Evan Groves on first down.
Again, just picking his way through, and where you have to be impressed is that he comes up with some pretty decent yardage when there's guys all over, but just threading his way right through there.
There's the number on Groves, 8 rushes for 38 yards and a touchdown.
So getting it up there to nearly 5 yards per carry.
4.7 coming in, Dean. He led all running backs from Montana State in that department. 2nd down and 4 from the 8. Groves gets the call again inside the 5, down to the 2.
And more importantly, that should give him a 1st and goal. That is first down.
First down, so 4 shots to the end zone from Montana State from the 2-yard line.
But again, watch how he runs. There's just a little hole, and he changes direction, comes back to his right, ducks his head, and powers ahead.
Well, we'll see if Coach Kramer stays with him on 1st and goal from the 2. He's got him this far, gets the call again, right at the goal line, touchdown Montana State.
There you go.
So Groves from 2 yards out extends the Bobcat lead to 23-14. Late in the second quarter, a very impressive job of the Bobcats running the ball, Dean, on that last drive.
Well, you use your tight end. Okay, so there's something a little bit different Sacramento State hadn't seen, and then you've got success with the running game with Groves. You just give him the football, and he literally on every carry just picked his way through.
Hastings on for the extra point. Ball down, kick on the way. It's not on the way. Miscue at center, and that time Rick Kopic, the backup quarterback, just falls on it. So extra point no good, and that keeps the score 23-14. Let's go down below to Chris Bach.
Well, there's been some question as to the disappearance of Tremaine Murray, and a hip corner has kept him on the sideline since early in the fourth quarter. Don't expect him to return as a precautionary measure. They're probably going to keep him out and save him for Eastern Washington. It's one of those injuries that if you play with a hip corner, it can do more damage than just letting it rest. And also for a halftime preview, I'm going to be talking to both coaches about the first half performance and a couple of MPs that are running security here at the game who returned from Iraq last year. Now we'll take it back up to the booth with Chris and Dean.
All right, thank you, Chris. So the word on Tremaine Murray, and we wondered why we hadn't seen him in that first half, and now we know.
Welcome back to all those members of the 163rd coming back. Boy, that was impressive.
It sure was, and what a great service to Montana and our country, and it's nice to have him back home. to be with their families and begin arriving back. I'm sure they enjoy being out for this afternoon's football game. And Montana State upping the lead now to 23-14 with a couple of minutes to go here in the second quarter.
All right, if you look at this again, you could just literally draw it all over the field with Groves the way he's running, because what he does is he just finds his spot and changes directions. I mean, there's a little hole there, and then he sees, well, I'll just go straight ahead here. But I mean, he has been shown just a great job. Watch the field vision here where he sees that, and if you're looking at that running straight ahead, and I guess the thing I like about him, he didn't zigzag, go right, left, whatever. He saw what it was and made that instant decision and went right to where the gap was and headed right for the end zone.
You keep that finger sharpened, okay?
That's good.
We're going to need it again. 5 plays, 35 yards, and now the kick by Bolton. And this one again, back into the end zone, and Daniels thinks about it and then decides to stay put in the end zone. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Hornets. Well, Coach Kramer's going to look at the numbers on this game, and I think the first thing he's going to be very pleased with is the improved rushing offense, at least in the first half so far for Montana State, and in particular Evan Groves.
Well,
here's what's coming up on the Northwestern Energy halftime show. Interview with some of the troops from the Montana National Guard. Of course, highlights and stats. And speaking of stats, Groves now on the day, 10 carries for 45 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4.5 yards per carry, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, interesting thing. The Bobcats very efficient again. Not a lot of time difference in time of possession.
Daniels up over the 20, has running room to the 35. Daniels to the 40, still on his feet and out to midfield. Great run by Daniels all the way to midfield. And Chris Daniels will give the Hornets a first down right at the 48-yard line.
Do not go to sleep. Still a lot of time left in the first half, but we talk about Groves reading it as he finds just a little bit of room and then cuts her back. Tell you what, if he'd been able to maintain his balance early, he might have still been running down there, showing off the football. Big run by Daniels.
Gain all the way to the 48. Still plenty of time in the second quarter. Daniels again tries the outside, cuts it up inside. And Marutis is there for the tackle. Corey Austin in on the stop.
They still have a couple of timeouts left, under 2 minutes. He might have helped their cause if he'd have run on out of bounds on that carry.
Tyler Fanucci checks in at wide receiver now for the Hornets. Well, you got to give this team a lot of credit, Dean. 16 straight road losses, really struggling this year, but playing good, solid football in this opening half. 2nd and 4 from the 46. They'll stay on the ground. Daniels is going to have the first down and more. Takes it all the way down inside the 35, inside the 30 to the 29-yard line, and a big pickup and another first down.
Well, they're running him wide, and he's managing to get outside, obviously, and once he gets outside and turns it up,
yeah, just a foot race to the corner, and he wins it that time.
I mean, he knows right where he's going. He sees it, and the last one there, blue jersey, and the rest of them would be in the secondary and right up the sideline. Minute 25, 2 timeouts. And they're going into the win.
First down for Sacramento State from the 29. Daniels already approaching 100 yards on the day. And this time Cummings thrown for a loss. Great job by the Bobcat defense as Clive Lowe comes in and makes the tackle.
Well, also that's probably, well, maybe not. I'm going to say it cost him a timeout, but apparently not. I'll bring Daniels back in there, but.
Well, they're going to have to get way deep to attempt any kind of a field goal with the wind blowing like it is. So 2nd and 12. Inside a minute, the Hornets in no hurry to run the play, and now they call a timeout.
They wasted a lot of time there making that decision because they couldn't come up with the play call.
Yeah, that is poor clock management. They let a lot of time expire before taking the timeout. 55 seconds to go.
And one timeout, but the play of the quarter, as far as anybody's concerned, and I guess especially the Bobcat fans, would be the youngster who's kind of come to the forefront this afternoon. Nice diving catch by Gwynn, which was a great job. That would have been That would have been in the first quarter that Gwynn made the catch there. For this little guy, the play of the quarter was putting on the shades. That was his play of the quarter.
Yeah, he's decked out today.
See, I think those might be Dad's shades because Dad is squinting and can't see, but young guy there, young Bobcat, he's all set.
The things you do for your kids, right?
You got to do it. Here, Daddy, give me those.
Give me the shades.
Daddy can't see, but the kid can see and translate for him.
There's Sacramento State's record on the road. It's not been a good one, 0-4, and 16 straight dating back a couple of seasons. As Mike Kramer and the Bobcats up by 9 at 23-14, and Montana State 4-0 at home on the flip side of that coin.
Here's, I'm sure, what Coach Kramer's thinking. Guys, if they get in and score right now, we'd have a 23-21 lead. However, Sacramento State's getting the football to start the second half. And now you look at we had the play of the first quarter. Here's the, you take a look at the play of the second quarter, brought to you by the Billings Hotel and Convention Center. And there's Groves again, just finding his way through. Nothing fancy, but reading it very well. And with the good quick feet, gets right to the end zone.
2nd and 12 from the 31. Mushagan goes in motion. Treadway fires out of the flat, and this one is picked off. And the knee went down. But Kym Hunter gets the interception, and Montana State takes over.
Boy, was he right in the right spot. Didn't have to move. And one of the reasons I think he's on the knee to make sure, down on one knee to make sure he caught it. But that's a big one.
And if his knee doesn't go down, Dean, he's got 6 points the other way.
He's got 6. But he just stepped right up in. That ball probably should have been thrown to the outside. It actually was behind him was the problem. And guess what? Hunter done a good job of keeping the defender in front of him. And now, with a tailwind, 2 timeouts, 49 seconds. Welcome to the magic of Travis Lulay.
From the 28. We'll see if they try to get more here before the end of the half. Quarterback draw for Lulay, and that one's not going anywhere. Stopped right at the 30-yard line.
See if they attempt to go one big vertical.
That was Logan on the stop again. We've called his name quite a bit this afternoon. Timeout for Montana State, facing a 2nd and 9.
I think they do want to try and get something, and obviously something wasn't right there as Lulay just elected just to go straight ahead, because that would not be a play call. I don't think that they thought they would fool anyone with.
Well, why not? I mean, you're up 9. You've got the win at your back. You've got the best quarterback in the Big Sky calling the shots. You might as well take one more look into the end zone.
Well, you can probably get 4 or 5 plays in.
And there you see the schedule for Montana State, of course, opening with that impressive game against Oklahoma State. And then the tough lot. They really ran into a buzzsaw out in California against Cal Poly. And then they strung together the 3 wins, losing to Portland State and then bouncing back with the win here in Bozeman last week against Northern Arizona.
Yeah, that Portland State one will eat at them for quite a while.
Sacramento State with just 2 wins on the season against Northern Arizona and NEI member Azusa Pacific. Outside of that, it's been on the short end of the scoreboard for the Hornets this year.
But you look at some of those scores on the short end, and that, again, that'll drive you crazy. And there we are, we're growing something. Oh, I see the old penguin head trick. That's a good one there. I want to see her walk. If she can walk like her hat, we got something.
Be some talent there, huh?
Hey, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes to stay warm. Right. And you see some of the Bozeman crowd huddled up this afternoon.
If you're in Antarctica, dress as an Antarctican.
2nd and 9 from the 30. I've heard that one before.
Well, you've never been there. Come on.
Lulay feeling pressure, rolls out, has some time. Good block in the backfield to spring Lulay. That's a first down at the 40.
8 seconds.
And that is the value he brings at that position is.
He doesn't burn up any extra time saying, is that really what I saw? He just pulls it down and takes off.
Well, Butler rides him out of bounds. It looked like he was going to be sacked and then picked up a nice block in the backfield. Was able to get outside and pick up the first down.
Well, with one timeout, if you can take a shot over the middle if you need to right now, if that's what they give you. You'll probably try to take away the sidelines.
1st and 10 from the 40. Lulay looks out to his left for Gwynn, and that one incomplete, out of bounds.
5 seconds.
Still 30 seconds to go for Coach Kramer. You would think here soon that they may take a shot here deep.
Well, of course, the incomplete pass helps them, stops the clock, gives them time to look at the sidelines and get the play they want.
Montana State has 1 timeout remaining. There's the numbers on Lulay, 12 of 24 for 162 yards. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Here's Lulay on the straight drop. Now looks across the middle, has Gatewood at the 40, and Gatewood down to the 35. Great catch and concentration by Rick Gatewood in a 1st down.
There's your one over the middle. If they'll move the sticks fast enough, you don't have to burn a timeout. Boy, he caught Gatewood right in full stride. Give the offensive line credit for giving him time, but
perfect strike.
Yeah, right there.
Clock running, 15 seconds to go in the half. Lulay gets the snap off, looks outside, has a man, Gwynn at the 25, and complete and out of bounds with 8 seconds to go.
Okay, now you want to take one shot at the end zone and then go for the field goal. That's about all you have time for right now.
Well, definitely in the range of Hastings with the wind behind his back. But you're right, Dean. Montana State still can take one shot into the end zone and should have time to attempt the field goal if the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, pass play to the end zone should take about 5, maybe 6. So you could have a couple, 2-3 seconds left if you want to try the field goal.
Lulay back to pass, looks into the end zone for Miller, and just over the head. Had a step on his man, but the incomplete pass now will bring the field goal unit on.
I think the wind took that. It just kept on going, and the ball was almost sideways as it was coming down.
Well, this is going to be from the left hash. The spot of the football will be at the 32. So this will be a 42-yard field goal attempt for Hastings.
This would be something if they scored on this, because it would be taking advantage, obviously, of the interception as Sacramento State was moving down into scoring territory themselves. And,
timeout. Check it to Sac State. That's their last timeout this half.
Sacramento State will burn their final time out of the half. And Jeff Hastings has had an outstanding year. 12 field goals this year. That is just one away from the school record, and we've still got more football to be played this season.
So he's kicking for the record right now with a tailwind blowing in whatever direction it might be. It is very difficult to tell.
You know, Montana State in recent years, they've had all kinds of kicking woes, and this guy solved that problem in a big way this year. And coming up next for our crew is we play our final game for us anyway here in Bozeman, and then we wrap things up with our coverage of the Bobcats next week as we are in Cheney for a big matchup with the Eagles from Eastern Washington. And I know that's a game, Dean, that's been circled on the Bobcats schedule probably since last summer sometime.
Yeah, Bobcats had them down but not out last year. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, and didn't, and Eastern came back and beat them. And now the Bobcats want to go out there and return the favor in Woodward Stadium in Cheney, which has been all redone, revamped, restructured, remodeled, add-ons. They've got the private boxes and everything out there. They've come a long way, and they've made a statement. They're playing all their games in Cheney now. They used to play some in Cheney and
some in Spokane and
Spokane, and now it's just strictly on campus. They've added extra seats and doubled the seating capacity, and the good news is they're filling it up most Saturdays.
Winning can do a lot of things for your program. So here's Hastings from 42 yards. Oh, bad snap again. That is the second time that's happened.
Well, I don't know if the snap or the hold, it was juggled down there and never got a chance to put the foot into it.
Well, poor execution again in the kicking game, so no chance for Hastings to kick the field goal. But Montana State leads at the half, 23-14. Let's take a look at it again, and just trouble getting the ball down.
Now see where the ball is, right there. Well, that's your job as a holder, to make something out of nothing. That ball was there in your hands, and you got to set it up. But that's a missed extra point and a missed field goal try.
4 points potentially taken off the board. Through 2 quarters, though, Montana State coming back after trailing 14-10. Now have a 23-14 lead at halftime in Bozeman. A game Sacramento State team hanging in there over the heavily favored Bobcats, who come into this game, of course, ranked 12th in the nation and tied atop the Big Sky at 3-1. We'll step aside. We are at halftime in Bozeman. Bobcats lead 23-14.
Spring, summer, winter, and fall. 4 Seasons does it all. Professional in parking lot and landscape maintenance. Integrity, dependability, knowledge, service. Asphalt rejuvenation to sprinkler irrigation. Tree and turf care to snow and ice liability management. Progressive, protective, curative, creative. We protect your investments. Hardscape, softscape, landscape. You can escape when you call 4 Seasons. Total property maintenance. Serving all Montana and Idaho markets. One call does it all. 1-866-606-2467.
Hey Bobcat fans, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center has a package just for you. For just $68, you get 1 night stay with a room for 4 complimentary continental breakfast plus water slide passes and 2 passes for comedy night. When you call, just ask for the Bobcat Special. The Billings Hotel and Convention Center, conveniently located off the King Avenue interchange, has all the services you expect. Dine in comfort in the restaurant or take a dip in the pool when you take advantage of the Bobcat Special at the Billings Hotel and Convention Center.
If it's in Montana, if it affects your community, if it's relevant to your everyday lives, you'll find it on the Montana News Network. The Montana News Network brings you total coverage of regional news, sports, and weather at 10 p.m. each weeknight, live from our studios in the heart of Montana. The Montana News Network is working for you, covering the stories that are informative, the stories that matter. The Montana News Network, working for you in the spirit of Montana.
Halftime in Bozeman. Let's go down below to Chris Bach.
Guys, I'm joined by head coach Steve Mushagan. And coach, you guys played a pretty good first half. You're still within striking distance here. What do you have to do in the second half to get back in this game?
Well, we can't turn it over in the red zone going in the score. We had our tight end wide open and our quarterback missed the read and threw the interception. And, we can't do that. We need the points. I'd much rather be 23-21 or 23-17 at halftime. We have to make a couple defensive adjustments. One of our starting safeties was down, so we've got a guy that hasn't played a lot. We got to get him chalked up and get him ready to go, and not blow a couple of those coverages and give him those opportunities.
You guys are missing some key players. One of those players, Ryan Moll, your running back, but you've had Chris Daniels step in just nicely. He's had 89 yards in the first half.
Well, we have a lot of confidence in Chris, and Chris has done a great job. Ryan's been banged up for about 3 weeks. Hey, we got 5 starters out, but that's what football is all about. We got to step up. The backups got to step up and play, and that's what they're doing.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll toss it back out to the booth.
So some encouraging words for Sacramento State. Hey, he knows he's in a ball game. We're at halftime in Bozeman. Stay with us. Our halftime show is next.
There's a silent killer in your home. You can't see it or smell it, but left undetected, carbon monoxide poisoning can cause flu-like symptoms, confusion, or even death. Keep your family safe. Have your furnace cleaned and checked every year. And if you suspect carbon monoxide poisoning, leave the area immediately. Call Northwestern Energy and get medical help.
There is a CO problem.
Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you.
These days, filling up is getting more and more expensive, so do it less often in a Ford. For 2006, we have 25 models that get 25 miles per gallon, or better. Like the fuel-efficient Ford Freestyle with up to 27 miles per gallon. It's how Ford is helping you live a full life. Visit your Montana Ford store today.
Hi, I'm Eric Kinnaman.
And I'm Joe Baker. You know, a few years ago, Eric and I were teammates here at Montana State University.
As members of Cat football, we live the values of honor, integrity, loyalty, and personal courage.
As a team, Bobcat football breeds pride, tradition, and camaraderie.
Today, Joe and I carry on these values as proud members of the Montana Army National Guard.
The Montana Guard has a proud and storied history of serving our great state and nation. You too can be a member of this team.
And every once in a while, we still get the chance to lay the hit on someone.
Max Media of Montana is taking Montana TV to the max. Max Media of Montana's statewide television group offers you maximized viewing choices with more stations and top programming in each market. Our Montana News Network delivers comprehensive local news, weather, and sports from around our state. The Montana Sports Network puts you in the stadium with Montana State Bobcat football broadcasts. We are Montana. We are Max Media.
And welcome back. We're at halftime in Bozeman. Montana State leading over Sac State 23-14. Let's go down below to Chris Bach. He is joined by several members of the 163rd Infantry Battalion. Chris?
Well, actually, Chris, I just have one with me and a combat vet, Casey Elder. And Casey, you have a bunch of friends coming home and next wave of soldiers just coming back to America.
Sure do. A lot of the infantry guys that are coming home any day now. A lot of them I went to high school with, know from around town. A lot of good guys from this community. And it's been a long trip, but they're finally home.
What can they expect to come back to here?
Great community. When I came home a year and a half ago, everybody was so open arms and ready to do anything they could to help me out and make me comfortable and get me back into the swing of things.
For you personally, was that a life-changing experience to go over there?
I don't think anyone can go and not be changed by it. It was amazing to see a different culture and a whole different belief system and a different way of life, and to live the lifestyle we did as soldiers. It was quite an experience.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Glad to have you back, Casey.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll take it back upstairs. That's your Northwestern Energy Break.
Is brought to you by Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you. The Northwestern Energy Halftime Report is brought to you by Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you.
2 quarters of football in the books. There's your score. Montana State leads over Sac State 23-14. Statistically, as you look at the first half, Dean, what jumps out at you as you look at this game?
2 guys we didn't think we'd see much of. Chris Daniels, 89 yards for Sacramento State. Evan Groves, 45 yards for the Bobcats. Another one we didn't think we'd see. Brad Treadway, quarterback, has passed, but for only 32 yards. Meanwhile, Lule business as usual with 196 yards. Time of possession virtually equal. And neither ball club has slowed down the other in the red zone. 2 for 2 for Sacramento State. The Bobcats 4 for 4 in the red zone. Not a surprise the Bobcats would have 23.5. Probably a bigger surprise that Sacramento State would have has 14 and could have had 21 or 17, as Coach Steve Mushagian said. But his QB, Brad Treadway, didn't find his tight end and instead throws the interception. So that saved it for the Bobcats. But probably good news for Sacramento State, not for the Bobcats. Bobcats got nothing out of that interception. Did a good job of getting the ball downfield, but have mishandled a couple of snaps. And Rick Kopic, the holder, gets nailed for the negative yardage. That's minus 29 because he had to fall on it for the extra point try and the field goal try.
238 yards of total offense for Montana State, well ahead of Sac State in that department. And, you know, on the scoreboard, early in the second quarter, Hornets were up 14-10. Montana State regained the lead, but as you mentioned, Sacramento State had a golden opportunity to make this a 2-point ball game until Montana State capitalized on the turnover. So here's your other scores, or scoreboard rather, in the Big Sky. Portland State is in Pocatello to take on the Bengals this afternoon. Montana down in Flagstaff to face Northern Arizona, and Eastern Washington is in California this afternoon as they take on a very dangerous Cal Poly team.
Well, this one will be in the books, or pretty close to it, if not before most of those get going. So this will make it interesting. If the Bobcats hold on and win, obviously, they're still going to be sitting in first place in the Big Sky with just 1 loss, heading to Eastern Washington next week. So right now, every game is the key game for your ball club in the Big Sky because some of these ball clubs are still going to be in it. That's what we're talking about, the Bobcats, or be out of it. Now, the other interesting thing, if the Bobcats were to lose here this afternoon, they would still be in it because with 2 losses, you're still going to be in the hunt.
Right. Right, yeah, you've got 5 teams still alive in the Big Sky. Stay with us. Halftime continues from Bozeman.
At Northwestern Energy, we work hard to educate about the dangers of natural gas.
I've seen this happen before. You smell a strong natural gas odor, ignore it, and then flip a switch, light a candle, or use the phone. Never ignore the warning signs. If you smell natural gas, leave the area immediately, then call us.
Remember, if the odor is strong, don't stay long. Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you.
Why have some of Montana's largest businesses switched to Transaria? Maybe because they are Montana-owned, or because Transaria provides service and products second to none. Mostly because Transaria can provide it all. Private networks, internet, and now VoIP. VoIP allows businesses to turn the internet into a valuable communication tool. The telephone, long distance or local, and clearest traditional service. Save up to 30% on your phone bill. Get rid of multiple bills and get VoIP from Transaria. The simple solution is Transaria. Call today.
Tuesday on A Fresh Gilmore Girls, Rory has been living a life of wealth and privilege, but a past love returns.
Jess.
And reminds her who she really is.
What's going on? Living at your grandparents' place? Going out with this jerk with this Porsche?
Logan.
Am I interrupting something? Now she starts to question who she's become.
What am I doing? I'm wasting my time partying. It's all we do.
You want to change? Change it. Don't blame me. Don't you dare blame me.
Fresh Gilmore Girls.
Sunday, an all-new Desperate Housewives gets wicked.
Does this mean what I think it means?
And it's a wild time in suburbia.
He's just gonna get me into bed now. That's where the magic is.
With a little proposal.
Are you planning to pop the question?
That's the plan.
A big confession.
I'm in love with you.
What?
And one uninvited guest.
We need to talk.
It's their juiciest hour yet.
You're not waiting for the pop.
Freeze! An all-new Desperate Housewives, Sunday, 9/8 Central, only on ABC.
Montana State leads at the half 23-14 over the Hornets from Sacramento State. And Dean, no shortage of highlights in that first half by both teams.
Yeah, they both did a great job as we take a look at the Bobcats just going down the field and Lule just hanging on, going in. But then Sacramento State found a running backup in Chris Daniels, and he has done a great job for them. Lule, of course, nice ball deflected off the hands, and Logue picks it up. Roosevelt couldn't handle it, and here comes Sac State right back, still in the ball game. And guess what? Just what he did in the first half. Daniels ran for 89, changing directions, but the Bobcats have a youngster too, Evan Groves, who can change direction. He changed his direction right to the end zone, as he did a good job of handling the ball and got himself a couple of TDs in the first half for Montana State.
Well, Groves helping Montana State to a much more productive rushing offense in this afternoon's game. We'll be back with more halftime festivities from Bozeman after this.
The Northwestern Energy Halftime Report is brought to you by Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you.
Third quarter just about set to get underway, and Dean Travis Lule, the senior from Ohmsville, Oregon, continues to assault the Big Sky Conference record books, and each and every game that goes by, he passes another player on that list.
Yeah, it is amazing how they're all, somebody's within his sight literally every week, and he leapfrogged today thus far with another half to go, passing the all-time great Dave Dickinson.
All right, let's go down below to Chris Bach.
Guys, I'm joined by head coach Mike Kramer. And coach, first possession of the game, you go down, score a touchdown, and then you kind of lull asleep a little bit. Took a lead change for you guys to wake up, but you guys are back on track.
Well, we're doing okay. I'm impressed with our protection. Our protection's okay, and we're starting to run the ball pretty effectively with Evan. Justin came in and gave us a nice start. Defensively, we're on top of things. We just got to stay just a little bit tighter.
You guys have given up 89 yards on the ground, and you told me before the game that there's a lot of things that you're going to have to pay attention to detail, and that was one of them. What do you guys need to do to shut that down?
They got most of their yards on one run that went for about 30 yards. Other than that, our run defense is pretty outstanding. I'm impressed with our pass rush, yet there's still a lot of football to be played here, and our kick return game under Corey has been okay, but our kickoff return game has been a little lagging. So we get the chance here to get going in the second half. We'll see what we do.
We'll see if you can build on the lead. Thanks, Coach.
All right, so Montana State leading 23-14 as we get set to open the second half of play. And Dean, much like the case last week, we started today's game with plenty of sunshine. Beautiful fall afternoon in Bozeman. Third quarter rolls along. A little cold, a little windy, a little cloudy. things are going to, condition-wise, going to deteriorate a little bit.
Yeah, you look at the flags. The wind becomes a factor more so because with that sun disappearing, the temperature drops considerably. And I can tell you from personal experience down there on that field, it is cold. And when you're used to the climate of Sacramento, California, you come here now and you saw before the big bowl of ice cream up there on the Bridgers. Well, guess what? See, there's one right there. Yeah. Right there. She's just hoping there's one seat on that plane to Sacramento. Please. And could you leave now?
Well, you talk about home field advantages, especially in the postseason, and teams that if you are lucky enough to be playing at home this time of year, if you're going to grab a team from Sacramento or the Southland Conference and you got to come up here and play in Bozeman, you've got one huge advantage. Now, if that's not Montana, I don't know what is.
Well, a lot of people think that's a hat. That's his hairpiece.
Yeah.
So
those are Sac State fans.
Right. That's a 3-year letterman in the hair club for men. So it's kind of a good deal. Coach Kramer said all week they have not, nor have they today, talked about the weather. He said semi-jokingly today that if they get up by 20, he'll let them bring out the capes. But they have purposely avoided any discussion of the weather. So,
well, as you remember to start the game, Sacramento State deferred, wanting the football to begin the second half, and that's the way it plays out here.
Well, the winningest coach in Bobcat history is Sonny Holland. He always called this Bobcat weather. So that's it. You have to make a plus out of it. That's what it is. There you go. There's a guy happy to be there.
You bet. And
he can't move right now, but he's happy. He's happy to be here.
And as Coach Kramer tells us this week that November is Big Man Month, right?
That's it. Big Man Month.
Big Man Month. That's where you got to step up and show your medal. And this is when conference championships are decided in the month of November. And Montana State closing in on their final 3 games of the regular season after today in Cheney to take on Eastern Washington. And then, of course, in 2 weeks, right back here for Cat Grizz.
Well, the Bobcats want a 3-and-out and take as much advantage of that tailwind as they can. Obviously, Sac State would like to keep the running game going and see if they can drive it down the field. Still a ball game.
Daniels the deep back now as Bolton will kick it away. And this one high and coming down right at the goal line. Daniels will field it up over the 10 to the 15 and smacked right at the 15-yard line. Good job by the special teams of Montana State as Tato comes in for the hit, and Hornets will start deep in their own end.
He makes the hit on the special teams. He's a freshman, and he's one of the running backs of the future for the Bobcats. But that's where the talent comes in, whatever. And guys want to play. He wants to play, does a good job on the special teams. But fans will see in the future he's a heck of a running back.
Well, it'll be interesting to see when Montana State gets the football how they're going to approach the second half. If they're going to try to run the ball more, take some time off the clock, or if they'll go with business as usual. Daniels, this time little juke move right at the line of scrimmage, gets a couple.
Marutis just kind of pinched in there and saw it. Papich was pinching him down, plugging up the inside, and the runner tried to come outside to his right, but there was Marutis coming up in the linebacker spot to make the stop. Big day for Chris Daniels, though. He had 137 on the season coming in. He's going to end up, maybe if he keeps it up in this game, getting as many yards rushing in this game as he had all season coming in.
Yeah, he's been a pleasant surprise and a big part of the Sac State offense in the first half. Gain of 3 on that run, so 2nd and 7 from the 18. Daniels again gets the call, tries to get outside, but it's not there. Taken down right at the 15-yard line.
And you had 2 of the faster guys again. Marutis from the back didn't make the tackle, chasing Epi King in there, though, again, as we've talked about earlier on. And Papich, I think, also was pushing his way through there.
Tough to run outside on this defense. And again, just great pursuit by the linebackers, and Daniels unable to turn the corner. So a loss of 3 brings up 3rd and 10 from the 15.
Now you're in a obvious passing situation with a tricky win. This is where you got to be careful.
Movement now on the front. Bobcats are signaling it's against Sac State.
Clive Lowe helped the officials out.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 81. 5 yards to the previous spot, the down remains 3.
That's on the tight end, so back them up 5, 3rd and 15 from the 10. This is not the way you want to start the second half if you're Sacramento State. In particular now, if you get them a 3 and out, Montana State's going to get unbelievable field position to start the third quarter.
There's another hairdo.
Yeah, that was a dandy. 3rd and 15 from the 10. Treadway with the quick out on the slant pattern. It's caught by Cogler, but well short of the first down, and that'll force the Hornets into a punting situation.
Safe passing play. You might be able to get a little extra. He got him back to the original line of scrimmage, and now again the kicking game, which has been interesting on both sides of the ball, but really interesting for Sac State, as they got a roughing the punter, helped them out. They ran for one. Then they had the low liner that was returned almost to the previous line of scrimmage. So it's been an interesting afternoon for Sacramento State in the punting department.
Lively will punt from the goal line, and Austin stands right at midfield. Kick is a line drive. Drives Austin back to the 45. He'll get a return up over midfield, cuts it inside of the 45, fumbles the football, and Sacramento State recovers at the 40.
Well, there's from the file marked, "Here we go again."
Yep.
Defense does everything needs to do. Holds them for 3 and no gain. And you had good field position just catching the football, although he juggled it. I don't know that he ever really had total possession trying to put that away. Well, I guess he did put it away, but anticipating the contact, and obviously he wasn't. They come up from behind and knock the bread loose.
Tony
DeMonico clean up on aisle 6.
Yeah. First down for Sac State, and as you mentioned, they did everything right on defense, forcing the 3 and out, but now up to the 42-yard line and a first down. Treadway throws out there and complete after a short gain. Pickup of 3 to bring up 2nd and 7 from the 45.
McRuben Flournoy who caught that, is a good tight end from Florida. I know they'd like to have him get involved more in the offense, but he has the size, obviously, good hands, and can run with it, but has not factored in enough in the offense receiving the ball.
This time they'll stay on the ground to Daniels. Not much there, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. Dances up inside, and Daniels got to be right at 100 yards now for the afternoon. What a great job he's done in a backup role today for Sacramento State.
But again, Sacramento State taking away valuable time from the Bobcat offense and an ability to take advantage of a tailwind.
Ryan Moll, their starting tailback, of course, out for the day, along with quarterback Chris Hurd. But here's the Hornets in a ball game at 23-14. 3rd and 5 from the 47. Mushagian goes in motion. Treadway fires across the middle. It's got a man. First down to the tight end, Tommy Briggs. Briggs makes the catch and takes it down to the 40, and that'll give Sacramento State another first down.
Here you go. Bobcat mistake. Fumble on the return. Sacramento State taking advantage, and here they come now down in Bobcat territory. But again, a good job of being patient. Nothing real fancy. You just find the one guy that's wide open out there, Tommy Briggs, another big tight end.
Taking on much the same flavor as that first half when the Hornets were able to capitalize on miscues and turnovers by Montana State, as Daniels tries to get outside, hit at the line of scrimmage, struggles for a couple.
Well, right now, Sacramento State's offense is a good defense. The longer they have it, obviously, the less time the Bobcats have again to work with the win. So right now, Sacramento State, who basically faced a 3 and out, which is what you want to start the quarter, and the Bobcats bumble and fumble.
2nd and 7 from the 38. There's the numbers on Treadway, 8 of 15 for 52 yards and 1 interception.
That would be good for one drive, but we're in the 3rd quarter.
Treadway throws out the little screen pass to Baker.
He fumbled.
Fumbles the football. Sacramento State signaling that they're on it. Terrell Baker made the catch, coughed it up, but able to recover, so that'll keep this drive going and bring up a third down.
He had some help on the fumble. One of the Bobcats got a hand in there and punched it loose. As he starts rolling through there. There you go. And that'd be Nick Marutas punched it out of there, forcing the fumble.
3rd and 3 from the 34. About the only thing that's worked in their passing game has been the short stuff to their tight ends. So we'll see what they come with on 3rd down. And you might be in 2-down territory right now.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea.
Well, they'll stay on the ground to Daniels. He just slams it up the middle, and that's going to be very close to the first down, right at the sticks.
Yeah, I don't see it do you much good to punt it right now into the wind. And he's going to be close enough that you try and force your way in there. So neither ball club yet this afternoon. Well, yes, they have. Sac is 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions in the first half. So they're going to go for it again.
Yep. Ray Navarre, another big tight end, checks into the lineup on 4th and inches from the 31. The give is to Cummings. Very close. Depends on where they spot the football. Looks like he might have got just enough for the first down.
I think he got the nose forward. See what they give him for the spot.
Bobcats are signaling that they did not get it. And that'll bring the chains up. Well, by the spot of that football, Dean, he might be a little bit short. It's but if he's got it, like you say, it'll be by inches.
No, he didn't make it.
Did not get it.
Oh, and that's a tough one.
You know, the line judge that came in from the far side looked like he had it spotted for enough, but then when they came in from the near side and spotted the football, it looked like the spot favored Montana State.
Well, there's a guy that is not going to run out of gas before the freeway right there. I'm riding home with him.
You sure you want to do that?
There it is.
I think you want to rethink that one.
Yeah. I guarantee you one thing he doesn't know, what the temperature is.
No.
Second thing, he doesn't care.
No, that's true also. Montana State takes over on downs, 1st and 10.
Well, a good job of controlling the football that time by Sacramento State, but the bad news is you come up with nothing out of that.
Yeah, and a lot of time off the clock as we're winding down to the 8.5-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. Bobcat offense doing a good job of rewarding Evan Groves for his effort today, giving him the football and letting him run with it. So just a gain of 1 on that call. So 2nd and 9 from the 32, 3 wide to the right. On 2nd down, Lulay floats it out there for Miller, and this one incomplete.
Well, that was kind of a tweener. He had Gwynn up the sidelines and Miller coming over, and he kind of laid up the big weather balloon in between two of them, and neither one of them could catch up with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure he knew who he wanted to go to there because he split the difference with the pass and brings up 3rd and 9.
Groves coming in today had carried 23 times. I think he has 11 or 12 today, so just about half a season in one game this afternoon. So obviously extended duty for him today.
Mike Brown becomes the 4th wide receiver now in this set at 3rd and 9 with Tremaine Murray out of the game. Lulay looks across, intends for Brown, and that is an incomplete pass. Bobcats want the flag but don't get it. And a 3 and out for Montana State, and they'll have to kick it away.
Well, good stand by Sacramento State.
Hornet defense doing their job.
But again, the Hornet defense, knowing the Bobcats are going to throw it. They're playing pass D, and right now, at least in that series, they were the winners.
So Lulay stands at his 20-yard line. Mushagan back to receive. Just one putt on the day for Travis of 33 yards. Good snap, rolls out to his right, gets a nice kick away. And this will drive Mushagan all the way back inside the 10, close to the goal line, and a touchback. Wow, that was close.
Could not save it, 68-yard punt.
Good effort by Jason Gathling. 23-14, 8:07 to go in the 3rd.
Spring, summer, winter, and fall, Four Seasons does it all. Professional in parking lot and landscape maintenance, integrity, dependability, knowledge, service, asphalt rejuvenation to sprinkler irrigation, tree and turf care to snow and ice liability management. Progressive, protective, curative, creative. We protect your investments. Hardscape, softscape, landscape, you can escape when you call Four Seasons. Total property maintenance, serving all Montana and Idaho markets. One call does it all. 1-866-606-2467.
These days, filling up is getting more and more expensive, so do it less often in a Ford. For 2006, we have 25 models that get 25 miles per gallon or better. Like the fuel-efficient Ford Freestyle with up to 27 miles per gallon. It's how Ford is helping you live a full life. Visit your Montana Ford store today.
Come on, Dad, let's go.
You know, son, you need really special winter tires. Toyo tires actually test and develop their tires for our winter. They're all-round winter tires working great on ice, snow, and other slippery surfaces. They cut into snow. They clear away moisture. Then crushed walnut shells act like tiny steel spikes digging into the surface. Can you feel that grip, son?
The ultimate grip in all winter conditions. Toyo tires, driven to perform.
And the wind really beginning to pick up here in this second half, making the conditions difficult for the quarterbacks. 23-14 continues to be the score. Sacramento State has the football, 1st and 10 from the 20. And unlike Montana State, Dean, the Hornets pretty much, their offense has been through their running game today.
Yeah, I mean, they're still hanging in there. I mean, they're like the heavyweight guy taking all the punches, leaning on the ropes. They're hanging in there.
And Daniel's one of those guys that has been a real workhorse for his team today. That time not much there as Darryl Rogers makes the stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Because of the angle of this stadium, that flag is actually blowing directly, or the wind directly out of the west. But if you watch this, as Daniels, he's trying to change up and change his mind, but the Bobcat pursuit right in there after him, and guess what? Darryl Rogers, another youngster out of California.
There you see the story in passing yards. Sacramento State just with 56, 2nd and 10 from the 20. This time Treadway forced to throw, fires it out there for Mushagian, who makes the catch over the 30, and that's 1st down.
Go back to those passing yards. That's the exact same number the Bobcats had at the end of the half. We're midway through the 3rd quarter. Sacramento State obviously has added up, but Mushagian getting open, and again with enough time, makes a nice catch and run. And before he's done at Sacramento State, he'll have a lot of numbers in the record book himself.
Yeah, he will. The 2nd leading receiver for his team, 19 catches for 199 yards coming into this game. 1st and 10 from the 32. This time they stay on the ground to Daniels, who takes it up to the 35, maybe 3 on the play.
But again, this is their best defense. Granted, they're not scoring, but the Bobcats aren't scoring either, and the Bobcats aren't getting the ball, and they're running out of time here to take any advantage of any tailwind at all. So good job by Sacramento State.
And there's Daniels, the numbers on him, 21 rushes for 99 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Big afternoon for that young man.
A couple of years ago, he had some decent numbers against the Bobcats running the ball, but nothing like this.
Picks up 3 on the play. Treadway now pulls it down, and here comes Marutis inside the 25 for the sack. Too much speed.
You talked about having someone scoped and sighted in. Marutis never hesitated, never broke stride, just kept coming. And boy, I'm telling you what, you talk about closing the gap in a hurry. And here comes the youngster, the hometown kid out of Bozeman. He had him zeroed in all the way, wrapped him up so there's no way he could unload it. A big play by Marutis.
Well, you see the closing speed that he had, and Treadway never had a chance. 3rd and 17, the loss all the way back to the 25. They need the 42 for the 1st down. This time they'll stay on the ground. The draw play to Daniels got running room over the 30 to the 35. Finally taken down at the 38-yard line. Still 4 short of the 1st down.
But that gets him over 100 on the afternoon, too. So big afternoon for him.
4th and 4, so the Hornets will punt. The problem with them this afternoon, Dean, is they're trying to play catch-up football. They can't throw the ball, so they're staying on the ground and having good success. The problem is that the clock's just tick, 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 and we're down inside 5 minutes of the third quarter.
Well, the Bobcats should get decent field position on this.
Well, remember, they faked a punt in the first half and picked up a first down, but this time Lively will kick it away, and it's blocked. Blocked by Lively, but picked up by Sacramento State to the 45-yard line. And the Bobcats with great special teams play.
Bobcats got in there, and they got to the ball, obviously. But good heads-up play by Sacramento State.
Got a first down.
And they got themselves a first down the hard way. The kicking game has been very interesting for both ball clubs, but the plus would go to Sacramento State as the Bobcats come in full thunder, and they're going to block it, which they did. The ball gets blocked, but Sacramento State very alertly falling on the football. It's Tato again that got in there and blocked it.
Boy, Daniel just bowls his way up over midfield to the 48. Well, because there was no change of possession on the kick, ball was picked up, run for a first down, and so Montana State really did everything right, but the bottom line is that Sacramento State recovers, gets up enough yardage for the first down. But you talked about the kicking game, the fake punt, the missed field goal, the bad snap, and the extra point, and special teams play in that area has not been good for Montana State today.
And they're sitting on a 2nd and short, and also the time of possession has really swung over. There's
Treadway
a fumble there.
Fumbles it, and it looks Montana State signals they have the football, and they do. So Treadway coughs up the football, the Bobcats fall on it, and just like that, we're going back the other way.
He knew what he wanted. He started pulling out too early and never did get full hand on the ball, and the youngster out of Great Falls, Aaron Papich, is the guy who comes out of there with it, the sophomore. And the Bobcats with great field position. But if you'll see on the replay that he just pulls out too soon and then tries to get it back, and guess what? I don't think any quarterback's going to get away from Papich at 6'2", 260.
Nope. So the Bobcats have the football at the 46, 1st and 10. Lulay, quick drop, fires out into the flat for Gatewood, had it for a moment. Bobbled the ball and incomplete, will bring up 2nd and 10.
Shelton, who's one of the stars right now, is only a sophomore, the youngster out of Bakersfield, with a good job on that defensive back, 6'1" sophomore, but he's one of the better ones that they have back there. And his cohort back there, Brian Parker, another sophomore out of Stockton. That's two youngsters you're going to be hearing a lot about in the Big Sky in the future, but they do a great job in that secondary for Sacramento State.
Well, their secondary's been outstanding this afternoon. 2nd and 10 from the 46. Here's Lulay. This time throws the screen to Gatewood, who makes the catch, but maybe 2 at the most. Brings up 3rd and long. Let's go down below to Chris Bach.
Well, guys, you've made several references to the weather here today, and for good reason. It is freezing. And I'm joined out here by the guys we see, the guys and girl that we see every week. So I gotta ask you guys, what brings you guys out here? Football. We love it. We love it. And the Bobcats.
It's all about the support.
We're going to toss back up to the booth. Thanks.
All right, and we'll be back with more third quarter. Montana State leads 23-14. Jody Johnson's shaken up on that last play, the backup defensive back. Sophomore out of Corona, California. Bobcats have the football facing 3rd and 8 from the 48. Clock running, 3:20 to go in the third. Lulay looks out to his right, brings the football down, and he's going to be brought down. Good pressure off the backside by the Hornets as Mike Brannon comes in and gets Lulay down. And again, I think more than anything, Dean, just good coverage by that Hornets secondary. There was just nothing there to throw to.
Yeah, he had several options, but they were all covered. I mean, he was taking a good look, and Sacramento State obviously knew he was going to throw to and just bringing pressure against him. But he has enough time as he steps up away, and by now he can see everybody's covered, and he has no place to go because big Mike Brannon, as you mentioned, coming in. There's another underclassman, a freshman.
So Lulay back to kick from the 48. This time the little pitch to Gatewood, who has running room. Can he get to the outside? No, he is stopped short of the first down. The play looked like a well-designed one, but Sacramento State able to come in quickly. Tony DeMonico with the stop, and the Hornets have the football near midfield.
And the Bobcats in the third quarter with 2:20 to go have done absolutely nothing with the football except give it up to Sacramento State. I mean, that's a good call because doing that rugby style, he always rolls to his right that way. And Sacramento State did a good job of staying at home, and here comes Gatewood around for it. But Tony DeMonico does the great job of staying home.
You know, it looked like right when that play developed, that was going to be a big gainer. But they stayed home, contained, and now we have a new quarterback for Sacramento State. That's Weir in, and he's back to pass immediately and brought down.
Rogers says hello.
It's the way to welcome to the game.
Yeah. My name is Darrell Rogers. I also hail from the great state of California. I'm from Porterville. Where the sophomore out of Roseville, California, wanted to throw, but guess what? That will take away any desire you have to throw the football as he set up, and just about as he set, here comes Rogers blowing right through to bury him. So rather inauspicious start for Crosby Ware.
Loss of 7 on the play, 2nd and 17 from the 41. Ware again looks to pass, this time thrown and incomplete.
Well, they're going to give him the business. I mean, they're going to bring the heat, bring the pressure, because guess what? They know what he's going to do. And this is only the second game that he's been in. He was 0 for 2, 1 interception coming in, no yards, no nothing. Okay. And his passing efficiency rating was -100. So guess what? Huh? He's green. He's about as green as that helmet he's wearing.
But the problem is, with Treadway, you have no passing game at all. And so I think at this point, try someone new. He's come in 0 for 2 passing. So 3rd and 17 from the 41. Weir this time rolls to his left, now pulls the football down, has some running room, gets hit at the 45. He'll be short of the first down.
Okay, now do you want to gamble again? You're at the Bobcats 45.
Ryan Force on the tackle for Montana State.
I think he knew that time that take a look, and if the first one's covered, tuck it and go, which he did, and he almost made something out of nothing. But Force was there for the Bobcats to make the stop. Well, they're showing punt. Yeah. They're showing punt. I would assume the Bobcats are alert this time.
Kicking team comes on. Lively stands it as 42.
And Sacramento State has controlled virtually all the third quarter. The Hornets have had the football for the majority of the third.
And this one's just squibbed along the ground. Montana State will stay away from it, so football comes to rest at the 29. 32 seconds to go in the third quarter. Score hasn't changed. Bobcats lead by 9.
Hey, Bobcat fans. The Billings Hotel and Convention Center has a package just for you. For just $68, you get one night stay with a room for 4, complimentary continental breakfast, plus water slide passes and 2 passes for comedy night. When you call, just ask for the Bobcat Special. The Billings Hotel and Convention Center, conveniently located off the King Avenue interchange, has all the services you expect. Dine in comfort in the restaurant or take a dip in the pool when you take advantage of the Bobcat Special at the Billings Hotel and Convention Center.
Why have some of Montana's largest businesses switched to Transaria? Maybe because they are Montana-owned, or because Transaria provides service and products second to none. Mostly because Transaria can provide it all. Private networks, internet, and now VoIP. VoIP allows businesses to turn the internet into a valuable communication tool. The telephone, long distance or local, and clearest traditional service. Save up to 30% on your phone bill. Get rid of multiple bills and get VoIP from Transaria. The simple solution is Transaria. Call today.
There's a silent killer in your home. You can't see it or smell it, but left undetected, carbon monoxide poisoning can cause flu-like symptoms, confusion, or even death. Keep your family safe. Have your furnace cleaned and checked every year. And if you suspect carbon monoxide poisoning, leave the area immediately. Call Northwestern Energy and get medical help.
There is a CO problem.
Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you.
You look at the play of the quarter, and this would be a defensive play for the Bobcats as Crosby Ware thought he would throw the football, and Darrell Rogers, the Bobcat, said, "I don't think so, but maybe we'll meet again."
That led to a 3-and-out for the Hornets. I don't think he wants to be meeting up with him anytime soon. 1st and 10 from the 42. Lulay changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Grove stays in as the lone running back on 1st down. Lulay pulls it down, looks downfield, this time rolls out of the pocket, keeps the football, and he is whacked out of bounds, and that's going to be a personal foul, and 15 more yards tacked on to the end of that play.
Not a good play. Not even thinking there. Not even thinking. He did a good job of making him run for it. He got some plus yardage, but not much, and you just gave him a gift of being late to the party.
Dead ball, personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Number 44 on the defense. That'll be 15 yards from the end of the run and an automatic first down.
It's on Tony DeMonico. So after the short gain, DeMonico takes a shot at him right after he steps out of bounds.
Yeah, and he's had a good game. It's not a major hit, and he kind of knew, and then he did it, and it's too late.
So that'll take the ball down to the 40.
That's the biggest offensive play the Bobcats have had in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And they did nothing to earn it.
1st down for the Bobcats. This time the pitch to Groves. And Evan Groves with all kinds of running room inside the 20. To the 15, Evan Groves down to the 12.
Well, he may not be the running back of the future. He may be the running back now for the Bobcats. Great job again of picking your way through. Quick off the ball, read it well, and hi-oh Silver. He sees it right there, cuts back, and man, he is not hesitating. Held on to that football.
Yeah, he did, and that gain is all the way down to the 13-yard line. 15 seconds to go in the third. Bobcats threaten. First and 10 for the Bobcats from the 13-yard line. Injured player for Sacramento State. Montana State with a first down. Final play of the third quarter. Groves at the 10, inside the 5. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter.
Well, the Bobcats have found another little toy for their offensive game.
When we come back, it'll be 3rd and 1 for Montana State. The end of 3. Cats lead 23-14. Bobcats looking at a 2nd and 2 from the 5-yard line. Opening play, fourth quarter, 23-14 our score. No scoring since the half. And the Hornets bring everybody, and here's Groves trying to get outside, very close to the first down.
Good job by Sacramento State of getting outside, because there was a minor crack early on, and they forced it a little bit wider than Groves wanted to run, but I still think by putting his head down and going forward, I think he did get him the first down. As I say, another toy, and they need some toys. I think they need some gadgets. And I know he's not a toy or a gadget, but right now it's been a one-dimensional offense all afternoon. In fact, a good portion of the season, and now you got a youngster out there that gives you another dimension of being able to run the football. And he's done a great job this afternoon.
First and goal from the 3. Montana State trying to extend the lead here early in the fourth quarter. This time Lulay fakes, rolls right, fires into the end zone. Touchdown Montana State as they make it look easy as they go to the tight end. Brandon Bostic from Missoula, Montana brings in the touchdown pass. 29-14.
Well, the tight ends have made a couple of big catches this afternoon. They haven't been used a lot, but there's one there. And Sacramento State, again, we talked about that before. You got a running game going. You do the play action. They've got to buy into it and be honest. And that time there it was, the play action. They bought into it and wide open. I mean, just lob out the big balloon.
Hastings on for the extra point. Kick on the way and good.
Snap was still bobbing.
Yep. 14-19 to go in the fourth. Bobcats up the lead to 30-14.
These days, filling up is getting more and more expensive, so do it less often in a Ford. For 2006, we have 25 models that get 25 miles per gallon or better. Like the fuel-efficient Ford Freestyle with up to 27 miles per gallon. It's how Ford is helping you live a full life. Visit your Montana Ford store today.
Hi, I'm Eric Kinnaman.
And I'm Joe Baker. You know, a few years ago, Eric and I were teammates here at Montana State University.
As members of CAP football, we live the values of honor, integrity, loyalty, and personal courage.
As a team, Bobcat football breeds pride, tradition, and camaraderie.
Today, Joe and I carry on these values as proud members of the Montana Army National Guard.
The Montana Guard has a proud and storied history of serving our great state and nation. You too can be a member of this team.
And every once in a while, we still get the chance to lay the hit on someone.
Come on, Dad, let's go.
You know, son, you need really special winter tires. Toyo Tires actually test and develop their tires for our winter. They're all-round winter tires working great on ice, snow, and other slippery surfaces. They cut into snow. They clear away moisture. Then crushed walnut shells act like tiny steel spikes digging into the surface. Can you feel that grip, son?
The ultimate grip in all winter conditions. Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
And the Bobcat fans like what they're seeing. 30-14 the score. Montana State, 5 plays, 57 yards. Bostic with the 3-yard catch from Travis Lulay, and a little breathing room now, Dean, as we get to the fourth quarter.
And it only took him a minute 13.
Yep. So Bolton on to kick off.
This will be his first one into the win.
This one, it kind of hangs up in the air, falls down at the 25 and out of bounds.
So Sacramento State gets it at the 35, and now we know why you don't kick it up into that wind.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. They elected to take the ball at the 35-yard line. First down.
Well, we'll see if they can capitalize now with the wind to their backs. Casey Ware will stay in at quarterback. He is a big man. 6'3", 210-pound sophomore. Hornets trying to get something going through the air, but it's been pretty much non-existent for them. Running the football's been the way they've been able to pick up yardage today. So first down from the 35. And this time not much doing as Daniels is taken down right at the line of scrimmage.
Marutis tried to pinch inside. They did a good job of holding him out, but he forced them also to go inside him. Couldn't get it wide, and that enabled the Bobcats to put the stop on him after only about a yard.
Well, Daniels is going to be one sore man on the plane home to California after today's game.
But he's had a big afternoon.
Yeah, he has.
He's done a great job of filling in.
And you have to give credit to this Sacramento State team that really kind of limping into this game, and they've put up a pretty good fight against the Bobcats. 2nd and 9 as Ware rolls to his left, fires in the flat, caught and dropped. Fanucci had it wide open at the 40-yard line, but can't hang on to it.
Right off his chest, needed to get the hands up there. Ricocheted right over. But if you roll over, and there it is, and oops, oops, oops.
Kind of tried to make that cut before he brought it in.
You got to catch it with your hands. Your chest won't help you.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 9. Ray Navarre, the big tight end, checks in for the Hornets. Here's Wire throwing out there, incomplete.
Little high, Mullahan on the defense. Even with the catch, Mullahan probably would have pulled him down, wouldn't have been the first down.
Pass intended for Navarre, so that'll bring in Lively to kick the football away on 4th and 9. So good stop again by the Montana State defense, and starting to see maybe the air come out of Sacramento State a little bit here now, Dean, early in the fourth quarter. Put up a solid showing in that first half, but Montana State now starting to dominate both sides of the football.
But still 2 possessions with a couple of 2-point conversions, and they'd have a tie. So, I mean, always that danger, although the passing game is not given them any big ones here this afternoon.
Austin back inside his 25 will field it. Now up over the 30 to the 35. Austin with running room to midfield to the 40 and finally take it out of bounds. A great return by Corey Austin to give Montana State excellent field position.
Well, the experience of Matt Logue that time saved it for Sacramento State. He pinned him to the sidelines, did a good job there, but Austin with a tremendous return on that. That's he knew right where he was going. He found the alley and turned the corner, and as he went up the side, you watched Logue just doing a good job of trying to pin him over there to the sidelines, which he did and got him out of bounds. But the Bobcats in Sacramento State territory.
Austin takes it back to the 41 of Sacramento State, 1st and 10. This time Lulay looks down the middle, fires outside to Groves, and Groves with the nice move at the 35. Now flags come in at the end of the play.
Play action fake to Groves. He goes right through the middle of the line and cuts her towards the sideline, squares her out. Lulay wasn't his first choice, found him, and a good job there of hanging on to the football.
I think they're going to get. We'll let the official make the call.
Pushing the back offense, number 64. We'll go 10 yards to the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
So Jeff Bolton whistled for that foul, and Evan Groves' day today, Dean.
It started in the sunlight for the Bobcats as he just started picking his way through the defense of Sacramento State. Very impressive afternoon as he just kept coming through, found the end zone a couple of times, and then started breaking off the bigger ones, catching the football. And what started in the sunshine for the Bobcats has turned into darkness for Sacramento State because of the play, the running and catching of Evan Groves.
Ball back to the 45-yard line. There you see the numbers on Evan. 14 rushes for 83 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He's bumping up on a 100-yard game.
Yeah, he's had a solid afternoon for the Bobcats.
1st and 14. Groves with the call, and Groves short yardage run there to bring up 2nd and long.
He came in at 110 on the season, so guess what? He has a shot here to double what he already had coming in, similar to what Chris Daniels has done on the other side of the ball for Sacramento State.
2nd and 12 at the 43-yard line. 2nd and 12 from the 43. Javon Miller checks back into the ball game on 2nd and long. Here's Lulay now. Rolls to his right, has a man. Barnhart complete at the 40.
Nice play action, faked out the defender. Gets him a little bit, but they're still looking at a 3rd and long.
Well, they get the penalty yards back, but still facing 3rd and 8 from the 39.
It'll be interesting if they don't get the first, but get close enough, if indeed they will gamble on them. But remember, anytime they punt, it's always a gamble because Lulay's your punter. So that's one thing that defenses have to always be aware of.
3rd and long for Montana State. 12 minutes to go in the 4th. Cats lead by 16. Hornets show blitz, and here they come. Lulay breaks out of one tackle, then throws for Gatewood. Sails over his head, incomplete pass, and brings up 4th down.
Fans didn't like it. They thought there might be a flag, but at the very best, it was an uncatchable ball because it sailed. Lulay did not have control. I mean, he's in the grasp basically and let her go.
Here's Brandon Smith. Good play there defensively. So 4th and 8 from the 39, and we'll see what the Bobcats do here. If they can pin the Hornets deep in their own end.
Brandon Smith, a mainstay for Sacramento State, has had a nice career there for the Hornets. And I'm only guessing that Lulay is not going to kick it. That's my guess.
All right, so 4th and 8. Looks downfield and does kick the ball. Hits inside the 20 and down inside the 15.
Not so sure that would have been better off if Jason Gathing had let that go. It was headed on an angle anyway. It wouldn't have been returned. That's okay. Still, they got on the 14, but he faked me out because obviously he did kick it.
Still plenty of time in this game. 11:50 to go in the fourth. Sacramento State trails by 2 scores, but deep in their own end.
Well, this is where the Bobcats have to force them into a mistake right now. One big defensive play.
Crosby Ware yet to complete a pass. 0 for 3 since coming in relief of Treadway. Ware, little screen out there, complete to Daniels and snuffed out. That's going to be a loss on the play.
Epi King.
Yeah, Epi King with a great play at linebacker. And he's had himself one good afternoon.
Yeah, he's been very busy. He starts out in the middle and then he takes a look and he sees where it's headed and he moves right over there and in. Boy, he read that quickly because he was right in the middle of the defense, saw where it was headed.
2nd and 10, ball back on the 14-yard line in this fourth quarter. Montana State defense has pitched the shutout here in the second half. Ware rolling to his left. And this time brought down again. And
Epi
guess
King.
who? Wow, has this guy had himself a game today. Epi King.
He was rocking, waiting for the snap, and it was like 1,001, 1,002, and then he took off right through the hole that was there and just ran him down. But he's holding his spot defensively, and then he just came rolling through, and boy, at full tilt, guess what? There's nobody on the field probably can outrun him on either side of the ball.
Well, he's having the same kind of game that Molahan had last week, and maybe then some. Epi King out of the Dalles, Oregon.
But it was like a delayed blitz. He just waited, and they'll.
Timeout on the field as Sacramento State wants to talk it over. 30-14 our score. We're back after this. Sacramento State looking at 3rd and 14 from the 10-yard line.
Well, do you open the doghouse now and turn him loose? What are you going to do?
Well, Casey Ware, new quarterback. We'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
Bobcats 5 defensive backs. Going with the nickel.
Yeah, here comes Fuller off the corner. They pick him up.
Whoa!
And down he goes.
Nick Marutis, version of the necktie.
Well, Marutis, another guy that's had a big game today. for Montana State, and that'll bring up 4th and 14.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is what you used to like to do when you played midget football. You a lot of times don't see it with the big guys, but Maruda says, here you go. He has been bopped. Rogers got him a good one. Nick Marudas on that one. Now look out for the safety. Don't snap it over his head.
So lively all the way in the back of the end zone on 4th down. Time clock expires.
Well, I don't think you're in the proper position to get a delay of game.
Sacramento State. We'll go half the distance to goal. The down remains 4.
You just cut down the distance for your punter.
Well, now you make that snap doubly tough because it shortens the normal distance between the center and the punter. So it's going to be a quick snap, and Austin moves up to his 45.
Well, the Bobcats have gone after him twice, roughed him once and blocked it once.
This time he gets it away. A beautiful kick. That'll drive Austin back, but then skips out of bounds right at midfield.
Well, they made something out of nothing there. Nice punt.
That was about as good as you could hope for from where he was. Montana State will take over right at midfield. And you look at the attendance figures around the Big Sky Conference, and I guess, Dean, we look at Missoula. The University of Montana has set another season attendance record.
Yeah, you could almost add up everyone else's numbers together, and it'd be almost equal to what the Grizz have drawn for the whole season. And hats off to them. They're one of the tops in America with their average.
Well, you talk about home field advantage and the benefits of playing at Washington Grizzly Stadium. That is a big, big plus for that football team, and fans over there love the Grizz. First down for Lulay and the Bobcats. Fires across the middle. This one is caught. And that was Brown on the reception. Takes it all the way inside the 30 for the first down. No, I'm sorry, that was Javon Miller on the catch.
Great job again, giving Lulay just enough time, and if Miller could have maintained his balance, he had 6. Lulay over a couple hundred yards passing this afternoon. Just another day at the office for him.
All alone, Miller was on that reception. So big gain down to the 27 and a first down. Under 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Groves, good hard running up inside the 25.
He puts a hand out in front of him, puts the head down, kicks it in gear. Away you go. Positive yardage again as he's getting up near the 100-yard mark. Up around 90 right now.
16 carries for 89 yards, 2 big touchdowns.
2 weeks in a row, Sacramento State time of possession almost 10 minutes longer than the Bobcats. This will shorten that up a little bit, but again we see the same thing. Well, the good news, I guess you'd have to say the Bobcats have been very efficient when they have had the football, but Sacramento State has controlled the football for the majority of the ball game. Just haven't controlled it into the end zone.
And here's Groves with a huge hole inside the 20. Very close to another first down, and I think now you're starting to see the offensive line of Montana State starting to take over this football game.
Well, the other thing with Groves, boy, he anticipates the contact, knows where it is, lowers his head, and is ready for impact. But he has had a great afternoon. Again through the hole, and you notice as the contact is coming that he ducks his head and puts down, and he's ready for the collision. Shelton, another youngster, we talked about him earlier out of Bakersfield, is going to be a big guy for Sacramento, just a sophomore. So you're seeing 2 future stars of the Big Sky colliding head on right there.
3rd and 1 at the 18. Groves again gets the call. Turns it upfield, should be enough for the first down. Not much there, but just enough to get the first down.
Pitch to Groves to the right side, going outside. Took away from the pressure coming right up inside Sacramento State. And he got one little halfway decent block out there and a little slice of daylight. He could have gone into the end zone because there's nobody back there.
Well, they're going to measure.
But he's also carried about 20 times or more, too. There's the first down.
Just enough for the first down, so Montana State at the 18 now, looking to put this game away.
He's going to come close to matching his season totals or exceeding both in number of carries and in number of yards.
And look at the first downs. Bobcats almost doubling up the Hornets, and for Sacramento State, I mean, at what point do you say, what are we going to do? How are we going to move the ball here? They've been totally ineffective, and credit the Bobcat defense, which has been superb. Here's Groves. Nice move inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. We talk about Sacramento State and unable to move the ball, but having said that, too, you look at the Bobcat defense with Marutis, Epi King. Great job today by the Bobcats in the second half.
Yeah, and again, Groves, because with 2 games coming up, you're getting 2 things. You're finding a running back. You're making other teams look at you a little bit differently. And that's one added dimension to the offense. So he's right at 100 right now. So that's almost his season total coming in.
2nd and 5 from the 13. He'll get the call again. Makes a move at the 10, 5, close to the goal line and down to the 1.
There you go again. They want to send the blitz for the pressure, and once you get by the first wave, there's not hardly anybody home. And he got to the front porch, didn't get through the door, but he definitely is over 100 now.
Nice move right at the line of scrimmage, Dean. They bounced it to the outside, right there, and then he cuts it up for the first down.
Again, they saw him all bunched up, but again, that's what I talked about earlier. It's such great field vision that he sees that and just hesitated. And then the good news is his giddy up is in a hurry. So he just shook it to the outside.
1st and goal from the 2. Bobcats looking to put this one away midway through the 4th quarter. Groves hit right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd effort in. Touchdown, Montana State. Good hard running by Evan Groves, who was hit at the line of scrimmage, but bowls his way into the end zone for the score.
Big dose of want to on that one. They had him stopped, and no, he wanted to, and he did, and he gets in for another touchdown for himself, and that would be 3 on the afternoon.
So a little insurance for Montana State now as they up the margin to 36-14. Hastings on for the extra point. Kick on its way and good. 5:52 to go in the 4th quarter. All Montana State in the 4th quarter.
Why have some of Montana's largest businesses switched to Transaria? Maybe because they are Montana-owned, or because Transaria provides service and products second to none. Mostly because Transaria can provide it all. Private networks, internet, and now VoIP. VoIP allows businesses to turn the internet into a valuable communication tool. The telephone, long distance or local, and clearest traditional service. Save up to 30% on your phone bill. Get rid of multiple bills and get VoIP from Transaria. The simple solution is Transaria. Call today.
This is it. A new season, a new look, a time to build on the past and create a new future. A time to take all the work, dreams, and promise and bring it to the field. Can Travis Lulay orchestrate his offense to the team's 3rd victory in 4 years over the Grizz? Can the revamped defense return to prominence in the Big Sky Conference? Can Mike Kramer hang another conference championship banner in the field house? Join me, Chris Bach, every week as we track the Bobcats and find answers to these questions on an all-new show, Bobcat Football with Mike Kramer.
Sunday, an all-new Desperate Housewives gets wicked.
Does this mean what I think it means?
And it's a wild time in suburbia.
He's just gonna get me into bed now. That's where the magic is.
With a little proposal.
Are you planning to pop the question?
That's the plan.
A big confession.
I'm in love with you.
What?
And one uninvited guest.
We need to talk.
It's their juiciest hour yet.
You're not waiting for the pop.
Freeze!
An all-new Desperate Housewives, Sunday, 9, 8 Central, only on ABC.
Here's the last scoring drive from Montana State. 6 plays, 50 yards. Evan Groves, his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon from 2 yards out. And Montana State now ups the lead to 37-14. What's that say? Bobcats from where?
Missoula.
Missoula. You don't see that very often.
No, you don't.
No. And vice versa. And this time the ball just kicked along the ground and fallen on at the 30-yard line. Wind really having a factor with the kicking game, especially in the second half. And trying to kick against that has been tough, to say the least.
Now, if you're Sacramento State, you have 5:52 to go. This is where the play calling gets fun. Now, what's the second effort on this? As I said, the old want to. Boy, he was not going down. Great balance and spun his way and powered his way into the end zone. He has 112 yards. But again, Sacramento State has had the football longer.
Now this time they're just going to stay on the ground as Cummings, haven't seen much of him since the first quarter, takes it over the right side, and maybe be not a whole lot of fight in the dog now for Sacramento State, trailing big as we wind down to the 5.5-minute mark. Looking ahead, Dean, for Montana State, they now figure to go to 4-1 in the Big Sky, and for the time being, pending the outcome of Montana Northern Arizona, will take over first place in the Big Sky heading into next week's big game against Eastern Washington.
Yeah, they have the last two are the biggest two, at Eastern and home against the Grizzlies. So you take care of business, you're going to be in great shape. You can be no worse than first if you take care of business, at least in the tie portion of it. And you look at tiebreaker and whatever. But if the Bobcats win out, they would win it all by themselves, because the Grizz, that would be their second. The Bobcats would end up with one, and if they beat Eastern, that would take them out of it with 3. But
first down from the 40-yard line for the Hornets. They'll stay on the ground to Cummings, dances around the line of scrimmage. Maybe a couple there. Well, next week we're going to see the 2 top quarterbacks in the Big Sky Conference. Eric Meyer from Eastern Washington, Travis Lulay from Montana State, as it should be late in the season. That game has the makings of a real playoff atmosphere game, and you look at the Big Sky schedule, Eastern Washington's parked there with 2 losses, can't afford to lose again. Montana State certainly wanting a win to go into that final game with the Grizz to decide the conference championship.
Well, the Weber State, a team the Bobcats beat in Ogden, went in and won out there. So that makes it interesting and shows you the possibility does exist. I'm just wondering if you're going to end up with one that's a 50-48 ball game.
Could be. We've seen those kinds of games, and now a flag coming in at the end of that play. Eastern Washington's been kind of an up-and-down team, Dean. You know, they were the preseason pick to win the Big Sky Conference, but they've had a couple of losses, a couple of bumps in the road that I don't think people really thought were going to happen with them this year.
Well,
holding, number 79 on the offense. Be 10 yards from the previous spot. They're down.
The
correction, second down.
Some would say that teams haven't performed up to what was expected, but others would argue that, well, the league is that good and that tough. And I think the latter argument obviously would win right now, because as I told you earlier this week that it came out in the ratings, the Big Sky is the toughest 1AA football conference in America. So that's what happens in the Big Sky, and I guess give those folks credit for understanding that. But in this league, it is tough to win.
Sacramento State just content to keep it on the ground, get some fresh legs in there, and run the ball game down to the end. Shepard, a backup running back in for the Hornets, gets the call there. Well, you look at the Big Sky, Dean, you look at the conference, but then you look at the teams they're playing in the non-conference. You know, the Cal Polys, the North Dakota State, so that they're playing. There's very good teams outside the Big Sky that they're playing in the non-conference, and that's that's causing some losses in the overall ledger. What was that we were looking at? We're gonna get that again.
Somebody lost part of their tailgate party, I think.
Ware this time thinks about passing, and he's brought down. Bobby Daly on the stop. So Daly gets the quarterback sack, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Ware has had a long afternoon and limited playing time.
Yeah.
Is Bobby Daly, who's had himself a nice freshman year too for the Bobcats, comes in to make the stop.
Ryan Forrest stands back on his 20-yard line. Inside 2:30 to go in this one.
This will be Lively's 8th punt of the afternoon.
He's been good.
Well, he keeps his legs warm that way.
Yeah. This can end-over-end kick, and Forrest will just let it bounce and down inside the 5, right at the goal line. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that well, he stopped it on the 1 anyway. That's good. I think he was heading there anyway.
Get a pad of stats with those kind of punts.
Yeah, that'll
jump it up
the numbers considerably. Now, if you're the Bobcats, again, that ground game that you've kind of found a little bit of this afternoon with 100 and some yards. Basically, you found it all in one person, Evan Groves. And, he's had a nice afternoon. 3 touchdowns, 112 yards, averaging 5.6 yards a carry.
There's our fans.
There
the
you
guys
go.
with no shirts on.
That's right.
They're there every week. Never miss a game. I want to see if they cover up when it's, down around 0. They're just going to be tackled in the end zone. There's a safety. Well, that's what the punt will do for you deep in your own end. So Sacramento State picks up a pair that way, and they'll get the football back.
The Bobcats brought Corey Carpenter in at quarterback for the handoff. And now the Bobcats will have the free kick into the wind as they will punt it away. But giving up 2, and Sacramento State will get it right back.
Yeah, that'll do little more than change the final score of this game with 2 minutes to go. Montana State will kick it away. Boy, it has gotten downright cold in Bozeman this afternoon. One more home game, of course, in 2 weeks. The Cats and the Grizz, and out in Cheney next week for Eastern Washington. When you draw up the schedule, Dean, and you look at it and you say, well, boy, we sure would like to be playing for the championship in this game or this game. And here we are with 2 weeks remaining, and that's exactly where the Bobcats find themselves.
You're in the hunt all the way for the next 2 weeks. You're in all the way.
Which is a far better scenario than playing your last 3 or 4 games out of it or playing for whatever reason. But Montana State has had a history under Coach Kramer in the last 4 years of having their games mean something late in the season.
Free kick. The Cats will tee it up and let Bolton put it into the wind. Still a lot of time left for Sacramento State if they'd like to just see if they can launch some sort of scoring drive just for whoops.
Was up to say, hey, the Bobcat basketball team opening up last night. Exhibition game against Rocky Mountain College from down in Billings, and Mick Durham's boys win it 80-60, and they are the preseason pick to win the Big Sky Conference. I think the men are going to be very good. And take a look at our schedule. Next week's game, we will be in Cheney as the Bobcats play a road game against Eastern Washington. 3 o'clock kickoff in Washington. Bolton's kick comes down at the 30. And this is Baker with the football. He's not going to get outside. Good contained by the Montana State defense.
Dominic comes over the top to nail him from the top.
You like the men's team this year? They're going to be
they're very
some good talent, don't they?
One of the best Bobcat teams ever. Already comparisons being made to the NCAA champs of 95-96. That team going into the Hall of Fame this next year, and already comparison. Lots of depth, lots of quickness, good size in the middle. 3-point shooters, ball handlers, great defense. What more do you want?
Offside. Out of kicking team number 5. We'll go back to the original spot. 5 yards. Kick again.
They're going to line it up and do it again. Offsides for Montana State. Yeah, they are going to be a very good team in the Big Sky Conference, and they have a very aggressive preseason schedule, Dean, and they're going to play some top-notch competition.
Yeah, exhibition game a week from tomorrow here, and then that later on that week they go to Fairbanks, Alaska, where they'll open up against Illinois, Chicago, and in their bracket San Diego State, who's picked to win it all in the Mountain West. Billy Tubbs, a basketball coaching legend up there at his Lamar team, and Larry Eustace, a coaching legend, well, for lots of reasons, but he'll be up there with his Southern Mississippi team. So you've got some ball clubs up there that will make it very interesting. And Mick and the guys, not this team obviously, but a few years ago were up there to the top of the World Classic in Fairbanks, and they like it, but it's great competition, so it'll be interesting.
Well, the Lady Cats with a new coach this year, having the injury bug being bit early in the preseason for them. They had an exhibition game last week against Carroll College. As Bolton this time will kick it along the ground. That's taken by Kugler, and he is hammered right over midfield.
Well, they Toff Grenfell getting him, but they made the right choice in making him re-kick. They really improved their field position.
Lots of stars to choose from for our Transaria players of the game. Pretty good picks, I think, huh?
Yeah, Daniels had his opportunity, stepped forward for Sacramento State, and Epi King, who's been the man this year anyway, Boy, doing a great job, but 8 tackles, 6 solos, 3 for loss. He's had a great afternoon. Old 44 for the Bobcats.
And Ware this time throws out into the flat. Flag comes down, incomplete pass.
Well, the officials obviously do not have any dinner engagements. Making this baby last until it gets dark.
You didn't have any plans either, did you?
No.
Not now.
Shot block on the offense. Number 33, go 15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
See, I'm for the official on that one, saying, hey, kid, don't do that again. We got to go home.
It's not hurt anybody.
Nah, come on. We're out of here. It's cold out here. Billings Hotel and Convention Center play of the quarter would be, here comes Nick Marutis with the necktie.
We had a couple of big tackles for losses this afternoon, and Marutis, one of many players on the Bobcat side.
There's the best hat.
Yeah, that's good. That's a dandy.
That is the best hat right there.
We searched long and hard for it, but we found it. First down and 25 now from the 37. And this time they'll stay on the ground and run the clock out.
Well, both ball clubs showed up this afternoon. That's the good news. Steve Mushagin would talk about his youngsters, and he has a whole bunch of them, freshmen and sophomores and so on, as they're trying to put the blocks in there. But I don't care where you are, but if you're in the toughest 1AA league in America and you're starting quarterback and starting running back, not only doesn't make the trip, no hope, and all of a sudden you go to the backups, and congratulations to the backups today, but you've dug yourself a little bit of a hole just to start with. So give credit to Sacramento State for making it interesting.
And Daniels does turn the corner, and another flag comes down. 2 of them. Feel free to weigh in on that whenever you choose.
Wow. I don't know these guys. Maybe they're mad at each other.
I don't know.
And this will be
Holding, number 87 on the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
Bobcats will move to 4-1 in the Big Sky, Dean, and
correction, that'll be administered from the previous spot.
That guy's open.
Yeah.
He's wide open. In fact, he's up there, just he and his buddy up there, the only ones in the section.
Yeah,
he's got the whole section to himself.
He's got premium seating up there.
You know what he wants? He wants someone to come up and thaw him out so he can come down the bleachers. That's what the deal is.
Yeah, that's a little chilly up there on the top row. Fans headed for the exits here, and a good day for Montana State. Picking up win number 4 in the Big Sky, setting the table for next week's matchup against Eastern Washington.
This was kind of another day at the office performance by the Bobcats, although they did find Groves, and Epi King had a nice day, and Marutis. Lule was Travis Lule, but it was very businesslike for the Bobcats today.
Ware's going to throw the football, and that's incomplete.
Well, let's see. 2nd down and 35.
20 seconds to go.
Throw a little pass out in the flat to pick you up 5 or 6. Hey, give them credit. They're not kneeling on it. They're playing out all 4 downs.
Well, at the 6-minute mark, they looked like that's what they were doing, was just running the clock out. But here in this final series, still trying to chuck the football in a 37-16 game.
Bobcats have assured themselves, I would say, a winning season for all 4 years of Travis Lule's direction at quarterback.
And Daniels running the football should be the final play of the game as he takes it up over the 40. And that's going to do it.
Snap to whistle. They did it.
So as you mentioned, Dean, a workmanlike effort for the Bobcats this afternoon in Bozeman as they come away with a 37-16 win over Sacramento State. Stay with us. The postgame show is next.
Bobcat Game Day has been brought to you by Toyo Tires, your Montana Ford stores, Four Seasons Property Maintenance, Northwestern Energy, dedicated to serving you, the Billings Hotel and Convention Center, and by Transaria.
And welcome back to the postgame show hosted by the Montana Army National Guard. Final score in Bozeman this afternoon. The Bobcats get it done with a 37-16 win over Sacramento State. Last week, Dean, Montana State maybe not playing as well as they could have against Northern Arizona, but in the second half of today's game, they put the Hornets away to get the W.
Yeah, they got it going, and I think no surprise in the score, I don't think, by anybody. I think the one thing that might be a surprise of sorts is that the Bobcats really had to work most of the day for this one. Sacramento State just hung in there, and that is probably the good news. And the Bobcats finding themselves a running back in Evan Groves today who showed up and played very well for them. Took a lot of the load off of Travis Lulay, who was just Travis Lulay. I hate to say that, but he was just Travis Lulay, which is a big day for anybody else.
20 rushes for 112 yards for Evan Groves, 3 touchdowns. That's the story from Bozeman. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week in Cheney. For Dean Alexander, I'm Chris Byers saying so long from Bozeman.